What the hell? What's good? My pack. Your Alpha is here. My brother Kid here. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another open mic Q&A for you guys. And today, I'm trying to get this. I'm now starting to put titles in front of the live. You know, this one that says this Q&A is over 9,000. No, I'm just messing with you. Hope everybody is well. And once again, this Q&A is also for a worthy cause. And that cause is the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Excuse me. So, yeah, man, I'm a big fan and big lover of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's worthy. It means a lot to me. And I'm always willing to help out as much as I can. So only if you want to, my pack. I don't care if it's 50 cents, $1, 35. I don't care. I would appreciate it. Y'all would appreciate if you donated to the cause. I think it'd be worthy. You might be asking yourselves, why aren't you prepared? I think that fight comes on tonight. Are you gonna watch it? I don't give two scraps about that fight. I think one, Mayweather is wasting his time. This is just a paycheck for him. It's stupid. And like I said before, I can care less. I can care less. I know a lot of people got a lot of questions and time on their hands. I hope you got some questions for me. I really would appreciate that very much. And you're probably asking yourselves, I wonder what he's going to talk about. Or I've always said this on every open mic. No question is off limit unless it's personal. Unless I know you very well, then I will answer. If I don't, if you're just coming through, expect me not to drop personal information too much. What's the other thing? I would probably say, guys, also get ready to maybe see a different setting pretty soon. Your boy is on the verge of moving again, most likely. This was, in a sense, this was temporary. Where I am, this was temporary. It wasn't going to be long. I will tell you that my landlord passed away, and I believe it was COVID related. I know you don't want to hear that, but yeah. And his son has been filling in for him, and now he's the apartment house that I'm in is going. The bank is taking over, and the bank has already stated that none of the tenants they don't want to keep any of the old tenants. Figured that was gonna happen, right? So yeah, Malcolm and I are definitely on the verge of moving again. My pack. We've been searching and looking high, looking low, and we think we found some very interesting places, which is cool. But yeah, man. Outside of that, my pack. What has the world of geekism given us? I've always said that geekism is one hell of a drug. It has kept me very young. It has kept me from getting into a lot of trouble, but it has just kept me from being just who I am. And we've seen a lot of news coming out from the worlds, from different realms. So yeah, man, I'm ready to hit me with some questions. I got the board right here looking at what comments are coming in. So I appreciate everybody. There's some comments coming. I'm about to start shouting out the pack. As always, if there is, what else? Also, I got some news to tell you. Oh, yesterday I started a new weekly series on the channel, on the main channel, called the Shotgun Saturday Fright. It is a section that will have you watching me scare myself by watching scary stuff. I was inspired by a YouTuber that I am a I highly recommend and highly fond of, just as much as I'm fond of guys like Dashi. It's Corey Kenshin. Corey Kenshin actually was doing a segment where he would basically watch, he would get emailed or requested scary stuff to watch, and he would do it. And I was like, and a lot of people were saying to me, especially Malcolm, was like, you should do something like that, because you get scared. I don't get scared easily, but when I can scare myself, because sometimes I'm in this place by myself when I'm recording things, especially when it's scary, and all of a sudden I start looking over my shoulder. I'm like, what the fuck like stuff like that, like what the hell is that? And so I'm gonna try to keep it as PG as I can, guys, because of the fundraiser that's going on involved with this video. So I'm gonna try to keep it as clean as much. I'm trying not to curse too much. But yeah, I can scare myself. Yesterday I started it. It was fun. Looking forward to getting more comments and maybe people. And yes, it is open. You can request things. It has to be a scary video. So things like that. It can't be something that isn't scary. It has to be scary, because that's why it's called Shotgun Saturday Fright. It's always going to be up Fridays. It always have a live premiere at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I am in New York. I live in New York. So yeah, having said that, there'll be more stuff I'll talk about in the middle of this, guys. But let's see what's going on in the comment section. How about that? Let's see. All right. So we have Warhawk Rambo. What's good? We got Caroline the Salvatore. Was good. We have, oh, is that Tim? Yeah, was good. G'day. It's one of my pack members from down under, Aussie. Yes, guys, I've looked at my annotations and all the analysts, and I find out I got, as much as I got a following here in the States, I got a big following pretty much in the land down under, Australia, which I appreciate. I don't know, maybe it's because I talk about that country so much. It's on my bucket list to visit, and I don't know, just I've always said it. I fell in love with that country because of the book report I did back in third grade. I had to do a big project on it. I'll talk about it. You guys probably heard it, but I'll talk about it again later. We got DeWitt, Will. Galactus Girl is here. Eliza, if you can do me be kindly, try to keep these comments from getting out of hand, because you are a what I'm a moderator. So if you see stuff like just like trolls come through, please click them out for me, baby girl. Thank you very much. And we have Il and Kuma in here. So let's get to some of the questions. I beg of thee, as always. Well, let's do this. All right. So everybody's like, "Yo, what's up, dude? Love the wall." Oh yeah. Well, I thought I'd fresh out. I fresh out some all these things I got from Comic Cons and things like that. I never put them up because I want to frame them, but I was like, you know what? Let me put them up just to fresh them out a little bit. I'm gonna take them down because I really want them in frames. A lot of these are done by artists that I got signed by them, and I really don't want to mess them up. Like for example, the He-Man right here. You probably can't see it because of the lighting, but the He-Man right here is actually done by uh, the man himself, Mark Brooks. That Thundercats up there. You probably hold on. Let me see if I can move the. You see that Thundercats up there next to the Scorpion? Thundercats mixed with Black Panther. Where else is we got? Also the You can't. I gotta get out the way. Um, you see the Storm and Pocahontas and the Psylocke and Mulan. Those were done by the man himself, Mr. Um, uh, oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. I'm a slap myself if I don't remember this dude's name. Um, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm a slap myself. Hold on. Uh, I'm a smack myself if I don't remember this name. Oh Jesus. How am I forgetting his name? Um, oh my God. Damn it. Marcus Williams. Fuck, how did I forget that name? Marcus Williams, great dude. Met him at New York Comic Con uh 2 years ago. The last New York Comic Con was 2019. Met him there. I got that, and these two signed from. And he drew these. Of course, you got the homie Spidey up there. My man Nightwing. My favorite woman in comics, one of them, Rogue. My man Scorpion's up there. Got the King T'Challa. We got Street Fighter over there. We got Jen Walters in the corner. As you know me, I'm an 80s brat, so I gotta have my Voltron up there. The Master Sword. You know who that rogue's with? That's the homie Link, the true face of Nintendo. I'm not even gonna go there. We got Turtles. And this lovely right here was actually was drawn by a lovely talented sister artist. Her name is Ashley A. Woods. You can follow her on Twitter and things like that. Lovely, talented. She drew that. I met her twice. The first time I met her was with my man, Mr. Multiverse, when we were at MegaCon Orlando 2 years ago. And we met her there first. And then I met her at New York Comic Con 2019. And I bought that from her, and she signed it. I can tell you right now, I did an interview with her. Everything I can tell you straight up, I was physically, emotionally, mentally, you name it, attracted to this woman. And if Ty didn't pull me away, Mr. Multiverse didn't pull me away, I probably would have dropped the extra digits, even though she's from Chicago. I was emotionally involved. My heart was popping, if you know what I mean. And I was loving her. Everything. Every time I asked her a question, every time I brought up something geeky, she had an answer for it. And I'm like, oh yeah, you know. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, I'm looking for questions. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right. Chris, let's see. It is 11 a.m. in Australia right now. I won't be able to watch till later. Have a good Q&A, dude. Thank you. Thank you very much. How is your outlook on life right now? How's my outlook on life right now? I'm alive. That's the first thing. Um, um, Feeling fine, feeling good, for a 39-year-old man. Feeling very healthy, thanks to a lot of the exercise and also, the supplements I do take. Thank you, UZMU. Shouts out to them. Um, Still, my look on life also comes to just my hobbies as well. Like, I try to always stay humble, try to always stay positive, but also just try to stay. I try not to let this YouTube thing side side quest. I was about to say side quest, but try not to let it change me. Always stay who I am. What you see It's excuse me. It's who I am, Warhawk. That's who I am. I haven't changed, and I try not to let that change. And I've always felt if I change too much, the spirit of my late mother will come down and slap the crap out of me and say, "Boy, you know I didn't raise you like that." So yeah, I try. I stay positive, stay just as classy as I can, and I think I'm gonna push my chair up a little more. Oh, crap! Come on, sorry. Up, there you go. Up, there we go. All right, there you go. Let's get some light up in there. Okay, that's better. You see me? Let me make sure I can pull it down. Aha! There you go. How's that? So yeah, life is what you make it, but life is pretty good for me. Can't complain. There's some things that I can do to improve it. But that's just me. You know, I try not to look at life, this little pandemic that has been going on, that ain't stopping me from doing the things I love. You know, that's not. I'm not gonna let that stop me. Just saying. All right. Next, do I think Gamera is gonna be in the MonsterVerse? I don't know. That'd be cool. I mean, it would be cool to see him there, but it's up to them if they have the license to use the character. Sorry about your landlord. Yeah, it was a while ago. Mr. Tyson was cool. He was good people, you know. Yeah, that sucks. Do you think there should be more? Do I think there should be more Native American representation in media? Good representation. Yes, not false representation. What I mean by false, assuming this is what Native Americans are. Now, I am strong against. I am very, very strong against it because of the fact that it's in me. My mom, as y'all all know, was so it's painted with me a big point because I do get questions on Twitter like, "Hey, aren't you that half Cherokee?" And I'm like, don't. Uh, I yes, my mom was, but don't call me like that. Don't call that. Don't do that. Like yes. Anyway, the point is, um, yes, I do think it should be better representation of not just Native American, but definitely, you want to show like the one thing I want is to show people that show is that every culture, every nationality, we're not so different. We're not so different. We're not. There are some differences, yes, but we're not so different. And more importantly, with Native American or indigenous people, it's more. It's so much more. They deserve more than they get. And everybody, and then when I start talking like that, this is why I gotta, because this when I start, and then they're like, oh, but you ain't, but yeah, what about the black folk and everything? And I gotta go into that because that's my other community, and it is true. But representation does matter in media. It definitely matters. You see someone who looks like you, that could inspire you. Am I wrong? Am I right? Think about that. Um, have I somebody this is not the last time, this is not the first time I've actually heard somebody say that. Have I ever considered propping up a Discord? This is I have thought about that. I have thought about that. I really have. I the first thing I did, I made a Patreon. I haven't been on in a while, but I need to fix that. And the Patreon was gonna just be for you guys actually. Like I was gonna do a Patreon, and that was gonna be more for the pack. Like, and I was also gonna do, which I plan to do again once everything really gets settled down again. Like the whole, weekly like giveaways and stuff. That's going back because I was about to start doing that, and then life hit me, and then I had to move and everything like that. So uh the monthly like giveaways that I had planned, I was gonna make like a mystery box, and every month there was gonna be a raffle and a draft, and it really mattered for people to watch the vids because I would be leaving clues in those videos, and then I was gonna come back and be like, okay, what did I say in this, like, and da 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 da, and that would be your way, be entered into the contest. And so I got to get back on doing that because that was something I really was planning on doing again. So yeah, but yeah, I have thought about that. I really have. I just want to fix this camera a little bit. Look, there you go. I was thinking about doing that. I was gonna do it, and I still am thinking about it. I see a lot of people ask me that too. Chris, you should do a Discord. It'd be really fun. And I haven't been on Discord. I really haven't. I really don't. Um, got another fantasy fight here. Uh, what the hey, Wonder Woman versus Doctor Doom. You want to go check that out? Go. There's many people that have done it, and it's pretty much the same way I view it. Go look at Mighty Raccoon. He's done it, and I did not disagree with his outcome of that. Absolutely rad posters. Thank you very much. There's more. I got plenty of them. They're not all up. Like I said before, I got more. They just I haven't put them all up, and I won't. These are coming down because I don't want to mess them up. I don't. I really want them in. I want them framed, and I got to get the right frames to put them all in frame. I don't want them just like that. It's nice. I did that just like that. Like I just popped that. Look, and I mean they're pretty lined up pretty well, but I want them in frames. Um, let's see. Deathstroke versus Wolverine. They fought before. You can go look at it in X-Men and Teen Titans. Go watch it there. My niece saw a picture of an old lady and yelling grandma. We were all shocked because she passed a long time ago. So we actually oh Jesus. Okay. Yo, Matthew Man. Yo. Um what are your favorite Spawn characters besides Spawn? I like Sam and Twitch. I do like Sam and Twitch. I did like Angela. Well, now she is in the Marvel universe now. Um, uh, I mostly I like more outside of Spawn is Sam and Twitch because they're in this world of gods and demons, and they're just two ordinary detectives. Like nothing special about them. I like stuff like that. When you got these this world is full of powerful beings, but then you got just average Joe, ordinary people that help out. And Sam and Twitch are so different. They are so out there. Sam is the stereotypical fat cop. Sam. Let's look at Sam is a stereotype. The fat detective, while Twitch is you wouldn't expect Twitch to be a detective. He looks more like a librarian or a professor. It's hilarious. Let's see. Moving on. Yeah, I miss conventions too, Eliza. You know, I miss them. Oh, did I tell you? Look at the turtles. I forgot the turtles right there. I'll show you some more pictures if you like. Like I said, got a bunch more. Um, see, got another Spider-Man here. Of course, I'm gonna have my boy. It's my boy. Uh, we got another. I got Savage Land Rogue, of course. Uh, this is another Spider-Man. This is Mark Brooks again. He drew that. Um, this was given to me by a friend, but it's Doomsday. This was drawn by Ken Lashley. I met Ken Lashley, nice guy. Uh, the other stuff is I got from like Kickstarters. This is a character from Kickstarter, as you can see. I got that. There's another right here. Got some more Thundercats, of course. And what is this? Oh, classic. Another Turtles, but they're in their classic look with the red bandana. Each one of them got the red bandana. It's classic right there. Y'all should know who this bad boy is. Spike Spiegler, Cowboy Bebop. Yes, the homie Link, Princess Zelda, Ganondorf. Of course, the true face of Nintendo. I remember when I got this. This was actually I got this at New York Comic Con. They were actually showing a showing of it, and they were giving these out. This was a good movie. I like this. I thought this was a really good way of bringing Brawley into the true continuity. It was great. Made sense. I was just glad he was a better character than how they portrayed him in the first couple of movies. Of course, I have a Sub-Zero. Um, yeah, Scorpion's up there. Sub-Zero's here. You guys should go check out my friend Chris Nartorelli's latest fan film with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I liked it, but then I was a little heated at it because of the ending. But Chris did tell me, and then after that, I got a request from another dude that was like, "Hey, I was heard from a friend you do good reviews and everything. Can you check out my Scorpion fan film?" I'm like, "All right, I'll do it." So yeah. Um, got another. Y'all should know who this is. Maury McCabe, aka Vixen. This is Ashley A. Williams again. She drew this. Same woman that drew that. The Afro, the '70s chick, drew this. Yeah, and I jokingly said, man, look at Ashley. She made sure Maury got that cake. Just saying. And then she drew this as well. Same woman, Ashley A. Williams. Good artist. Good artist. She's really cool. Um, and that is about it. Yeah, that's about it. I thought I had more. No, there is more. I know I got more because there's something else. I'm missing a. I know I'm missing somebody. Um, I'm missing. Aha. course. Snake! Of course. There's more. I got more around. I just don't want to take them all out. But yeah, I love art. I love art. I love when I go to conventions. Most of the time, 50% of the time, I am in Artist Alley. I am always, if anybody ever wants to catch me in a convention and I go and tell people I'm going to be here, I'm 90% of the time, I'm in Artist Alley the whole duration of the convention. Or if not, I'm vlogging, doing cosplay interviews, which I love doing. And when I do the cosplay interviews, I get to know and get to poke inside the heads of the cosplayers. I've done that. I've done it for MegaCon. If y'all ever seen my MegaCon video, I was just cosplaying. And what I'm as much as I like that video, I also am pissed off about it because when I was transferring a lot of clips from my camera, a lot of the work that I put in, some of them interviews the files got corrupted, and the people that were going to watch that video, like those cosplayers that I interviewed, they came through and they're like, "Hey, where's my interview?" And I'm like, and I felt so bad about it. And so yeah, I make sure now I make sure every time, when I was once I did it for MegaCon, and then I did it again at New York Comic Con. I made sure every night I took those files off that phone and put it onto my computer real quick. I was like, I'm putting this right now so I don't F this up. It was good times. I do miss conventions too, and supposedly they're saying New York Comic Con is coming back. Baltimore Con is coming back. There's all these, you know, I'm not gonna hold my breath, but I hope they do because I miss conventions too. It's like I'm around my people. You know what I'm saying? Which characters outside of comics do I see joining the hand? It depends because one, you're taking orders. I would say Shredder, but no, he won't because he would want to lead. There you go. Dr. Fate would beat the mask. Are we talking about mask, the Loki's mask? I would agree, maybe. Jeez, okay. I don't know. Jeez, what vampire TV series, movies, or series do I find value in? Um, I'm a big Vampire Hunter D fan, so of course, Castlevania, of course, Buffy. I love Buffy, and I've loved Buffy prior to Sarah Michelle Gellar getting that role. For all those who don't remember, uh, there was a Buffy movie before Sarah Michelle Gellar. Christy Swanson played the role. Donald Sutherland was in it, and Paul Rubin, the late Luke Perry. It was called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She was, they, and it still followed kind of the same route of the show. You know, Christy Swanson was still kind of like a valley girl, like, oh, like it's as if, and you know that talk, and then you started seeing her mold into this fighting machine, and then you start seeing her like almost like they were going like her past lives there were other slayers before her. Oh, and of course the late Rucker Hauer was in it. Yeah, it was. I don't. I like vampires too. There's certain movies I love, and of course, gotta throw Lost Boys in there. Come on, Lost Boys is my favorite vampire movie. Boom, like I do like vampires, just but I am more of a werewolf fan than vampires because once that Twilight stuff, I was like I'm done. I was like, yeah, I know there are different versions of vampires. Like every medium has a different version, but I'm not glowing and that stuff. I don't mind seeing vampires who try to control their bloodlust. And that's always been the question for me about vampires in general. Is like, why does it have to be human blood? I find that kind of BS right there because watching movies like Interview with the Vampire, Brad Pitt survived with just eating blood from animals. David Boreanaz from Angel, he drunk pig's blood and things like that. It's like, why is it human's blood? Like it doesn't. That always bothers me even when I write vampiric characters, I always feel like that's a cop out. Like, oh, they can't be in love with a human because if a vampire and a normal human have sex, they're gonna make a damn fire. You know, that's how I look at it, and I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. You have all the strengths of a vampire, but none of their weaknesses, like Blade and D, and all they, it's great. So I always have an issue with that with vampires. Like it has to be human blood, and But I outside of that, I do like vampires. From the most part, I don't hate like forget vampires, not. But I have said this many times. Like people ask me, like, if you had to be one of them, if you had no choice, you had to pick werewolf or vampire, would you be in? I say werewolf. I say werewolf all the time. I say it all the time because at least, and this is also my issue with werewolves is like at least I can spend the day I can be in the daylight unless I'm a damn fire. That's different. But at least I can see the sunlight. And the only time you're turning into this beast is if it's a full moon. Most of the time, all the werewolf books I've read, they have the strength of the wolf, and all their senses are heightened. Outside of that, and then there's different modes. Like there's the you tap into the wolf part, like maybe your fingernails grow and you get the teeth and your eyes. Then you have the werewolf look, the humanoid wolf look. Mostly they always say the wolf is like 9 foot tall. And then you have the fully wolf outlook. Like so, I always looked at that and I'm like, that's still cool. At least I can maybe if I was a werewolf and people knew I would turn into that, and at least and the other thing is like some of these stories that I've read, they are fully in control of their transformation. They can transform in and out, no problem. Even when they're fully wolf, they know the difference. They're not just a bloodthirsty wolf. Most of the stories I've read are it's only one night that beast takes over, and it's a certain night. It's the like when the moon is like the hunter's moon, the blood moon. But outside of that, yeah, man, like I'm always a big werewolf fan. I've seen mostly every werewolf movie there is. And showing my age, like The Howling. Like I said, I grew up in the '80s, so Silver Bullet, The Howling, all those movies, those werewolf movies, even up until now, you know, one of my favorite werewolf movies is so underrated, it doesn't get talked about enough, but Dog Soldiers. Do yourselves a favor, go check out Dog Soldiers. Probably the best werewolf movie in a long time. You want to talk about scary and making werewolves out to be just cunning and vicious and scary? Go watch that movie. That is just sheer brilliant. Uh, who is the most extreme Ninja Turtle villain? Is that what that said? Ninja Turtle villain to you, extreme. When we're talking extreme, are we talking like murderous and things like that? I will always say Shredder. Um, nobody's done more to the turtles than the Shredder. It's always gonna be Shredder. Did you know that Domino's Pizza is bringing back the Noid? I did know that, Liza. Yes, I did. Um, Malcolm and I were, I think we were down in New York, in the city, in Manhattan, and we were passing, and I think a bus came by, and we saw the Domino's on the side, and I'm like, is that the Noid? I was like, whoa, like what? And then I saw a commercial, and the Noid was. I'm like, they brought back the Noid. Now, this once again, this just shows my age. But yeah, back in the day, Domino's had a mascot. He looked like a rabbit with um, and he had buck teeth and he had a long nose and he kind of and he was the Noid. Like he looked like a superhero, but it was weird looking. He was funny looking, but he was still cool. And he was like their mascot. You know, it was and then he went away and then everything changed. But now, yeah, I was like, what? They brought back the Noid? That's crazy. Uh what Power Rangers show drew you in most of all? Still will always be the original, because that was the original. Was they took the original Super Sentai? All that footage was from the original show until later on. I haven't watched the Power Rangers in a long time. I swear on my mother's grave. I haven't watched the last Power Rangers I watched fully. I think was Mystic Force. That was the last one I watched fully. After that, I didn't watch anything after that. Um, I haven't, but I watched like shows on like YouTube called Gameology, and a former Power Ranger is on there, and I love him. Called Yoshi Shidaro. He's on there, and I watch they break down fight scenes in video games, and he's always there with this beautiful woman. She's so cute. I love her. Her name is Gemma Nguyen. Gorgeous. Oh, and I love. She's just a cutie, and they're always on there. And they watch fights or martial arts styles and video games, and they break it down for people who don't understand, like how to throw a punch. You don't throw a punch like you throw a punch with these two knuckles, and you kind of keep it straight. The differences between different styles and things like that is great. I love Game Knowledge because you get the experts on there that break down certain things, and they're not trying to be fools about it, but a lot of them it breaks down. Like there's a guy on there called Chris the Cop. I love him. He's a real cop, and he comes on there and talks about like cops and video games and what will really go down. You got soldiers on there, and they'll break down all the soldier games like Call of Duty and stuff. I love them. They got a former jewel thief on there. Like this guy was a former thief, and he breaks down like uh, things. You got sword masters, kenjutsu masters, all that, and they reenact different scenes. I mean, they had a real people reenacting sword techniques from Ghost of Tsushima, and it was great. I love that channel. Love that channel. Um, Thank you. Stay safe. I will. Thank you very much. Uh, does does any kind of variety of the golden age of piracy make you glamored, compelled, hypnotized, or mesmerized to look at? When you talk about golden age of piracy, um, we talking about like real pirates and things like that. Like, not really. I mean, I read a lot of books on what pirates were really like, and half of the 50, most of the stuff that we see in movies, that ain't nothing what pirate life was really like, of what is told about them. Movies really glamorize a lot of stuff, which I don't care for too much. All right, if they ever do a live action Gargoyles, who would I want um to play Elisa? Or you said Elizabeth? Elisa, Isabel, Isabeth. You mean Elisa? Elisa Maza, the same woman that voiced her. Y'all ever see Sally Richardson Whitfield? That's all she is. That is Elisa. She is exactly. It's because of her they changed Elisa's ethnicity. Elisa was going to be Latino, and when Sally Richardson came in before she was married, came in to uh, try out, audition for the role, and they picked her, and they said, okay, Elisa now is going to be half black, half Native American, because Sally Richardson is that. So yeah, it worked out. It was great. So I wouldn't mind. Go look her up. You don't believe me? Look. Um, as for Puck, ooh, who could play Puck? Um, hmm, who would I get to play Puck? Hmm. Um, who could play Puck? Why am I thinking of James McAvoy for some reason? There's a part of me that thinking James McAvoy could probably nail that character. Uh, and who could play Xanatos? Uh, that's kind of tough too because there's a couple of actors I can see playing him. But yeah, James McAvoy for sure. That's one actor I could probably see playing Puck. Excuse me. Uh, and Xanatos is spelled with an X, not a Z. Sorry, I don't mean to be a grammar hound, but yeah. All right. Between Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Mongolian folklores, what interests you the most? But that mostly goes to Japanese, mostly. Japanese or Chinese. Um, Mostly them. That's Japanese is always going to be on more top because of my fondness of Japan. That is probably the number one country that I have on my bucket list to get to before I die. So definitely, and I see my favorite YouTubers like Dashi go there almost every year, and I'm not jealous. I have friends that also went there too, and they show me pictures of like Mount Fuji and stuff like that, and I'm just like, no, I'm happy for them. I'm never jealous of that stuff. I'm just happy for them. And most of the time, I ask them, "Did you ride the bullet train or something like that?" And like, no. And they're, "Did you go to Shinjuku Station and things like that? Did you watch a real sumo wrestling match and things?" One of my friends, Lincoln, did watch an actual sumo wrestling match, and watching them, do the and Saji, and it was great stuff. He loved it. He said he enjoyed it. Another one of my friends actually went there on a honeymoon with him and his wife. So, and they brought me something. I think I don't know where I put it, but no, it wasn't a katana or anything like that. You know that ain't getting through customs. I'm a sword man too. I love swords. I I I I will start collecting swords again. I'm a big sword man. I love swords. Like the one sword I want to get the first, because like I said, every time I start thinking about start my sword collection, I'm like, oh, it's not enough room or something like that. But the first sword I actually want to get is a replica of the Conan sword. His Atlantean Hyborian sword. Yeah, I want that so badly. Demona, or who could play Demona? See, that's hard too because one, Ooh, wait a minute. Natalie Dormer. I think dress Natalie Dormer in the makeup. I don't know if she would do it, but yeah, I love Natalie Dormer. She's got cat features too. Like she looks like a cat. You ever seen her? Like she looks like a cat. But yeah. Um what show was done the most justice between Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Punisher, Daredevil, all those? Uh pretty much all three. I would say more. I definitely, if I'm ranking them in that order, Daredevil definitely, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Punisher. Number four, the last one is Iron Fist. I won't even count the Defenders in that because that's not the real Defenders. But yeah, Daredevil came back strong, and that was needed to be done. That was needed to be done right and properly. That's why it'll rank number one for me because if you watch the Ben Affleck movie and you watch that series, and I try not to compare them. I try not to compare that. But every time I watch even the director's cut of Ben Affleck's movie, I'm like, and Daredevil was my second favorite Marvel superhero. Yes, I said superhero because why? Why is he called a superhero? Because he has superpowers. He has superpowers. A superhero is a character that has superpowers. That's a superhero. Panther is a superhero. She-Hulk, superheroine. He-Man's superhero. Even Rogue, superhero, heroine. Nightwing is not a superhero. He's a hero, but he's not a superhero. The Turtles, heroes, but not superheroes. Technically, they don't have powers. Spider-Man powers. But anyway, yeah, that was needed. And Charlie Cox did a magnificent job as Matt Murdock. I had people at my local comic shop in Midtown Comics. That's my comic shop. I was down there one time when that show came out after the first season, and when I can tell you right now, as good as I was hearing everybody praise it, when I started hearing like crap about it, this was my face. Like, and I would walk up to them like kind of like, huh? Like, what you say? Like almost like say it again. What you say? Say it again. Like I didn't, I had there was one guy. I swear to you, it pissed me. I had to move away. I had to leave because I was like, if that's the only reason why you don't like that, you didn't like Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, you deserve a slap in the face. This dude, and I'll never forget him. He looked like he was a business tycoon or something like that, ponytail, and he's like, I liked it. It was all right. But I wasn't a big fan of Charlie Cox. And he kind of talked like that too. I'm not even joking. I wasn't a big fan of the actor who played him, and I'm like, and so Bear was like, why? He's like, they couldn't find an American. Oh, I swear to God, I dropped my books that day. I'm like, I dropped it on the I dropped it. I was about to go pay for my books, and I dropped it on the desk, and I was like, I'm sorry. And I said, can you put my books aside real quick? Because I wanted to hear this fool. Like, and I'm like, so you don't like the dude because what? He's not American. Oh, he didn't have red hair. I'm like, So and I remember asking that fool that question. I'm like, so I said, sir, what do you think a redhead looks like, especially in a man? What do you think a redhead looks like? You think they got actual red hair? You think their hair looks like this? Huh? I could not believe this guy. Sorry about that. Drop my shit. I'm like, I couldn't believe this guy. Like, are you stupid? Like, really? And like him in the black costume. I'm like, then that means somebody never read Born Again. Somebody never read. How come he didn't have his yellow costume? I'm sorry, I'm gonna curse right here, but as much as I respect the classic, who the fuck wants him in his yellow and red costume? I sure didn't want that. That looked stupid to me. No, rest in peace, Stan Lee. But Daredevil in his yellow and red costume looks stupid to me. I never understood that. He's called Daredevil, but he wears yellow and red. How does that work? And technically, Daredevil is basically a ninja. Him in that black look worked. And you see them building up to his costume. What the hell? That guy pissed me off so much. I had to leave. And I remember the teller, I'll never forget her name, because her name was Ajora. And she was really cool. And I used to always, and she would always say hi to me and everything. She knew me by personal. She knew me by name. She was the one that would pull. She was always the one that would do my pull list for me. So anytime she would pull it out for me, she see me come through the door. Oh, hey Chris, I get your books. Okay, things like that. She left. She left. I think 2 years ago. She doesn't work at Midtown anymore. I thought she went to another location because there's like three locations of Midtown Comics. There's three locations. There's one in Times Square. There's one near Grand Central Station, and there's one in the lower east side, lower downtown. I think 60th Street or so. But yeah, anyway, yeah, like that guy pissed me off. I'm sorry I ran into that rant. I'm sorry. See, you gotta be careful. All right, let's. How would a combat session with Dr. Fate and Silver Surfer go? I wouldn't, because they're too smart to just fight. I hate superhero fights. I do. I really do. I hate superhero fights. I hate the whole concept like, oh, we gotta fight first before teaming up. Bullshit. Excuse my language again. BS. Think Surfer is not one to just go into a fight. And the hell, same thing with Fate. So a little bit, not really. Um, Black Manta versus Luke Cage. I'm gonna give it to Luke because Luke has fought Submariner in his element and beat him. Yeah. So what do you think he could do to a man in an armored suit? You think he can't? Yeah, there you go. I think the Image universe is its own. I don't think it's similar. It has similarities because of the people involved in it, and the people involved in it have worked for the big two, but it is its own universe. That's how I look at it. I didn't mind the Batman Predator crossovers and things like that. I thought they were fun. I mean, cool. Now Predator is with Marvel, and I know they got a comic coming out, but I would love to start seeing Predator go after certain characters in Marvel. Wolverine, Punisher, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'd love to see that stuff. Like that'd be great. Cassandra Sandsmart would beat Cassandra Cain would beat Bullseye. Bullseye's good, but he ain't on that level. He is not on Cassandra's level. No way. Moon Knight versus Bane. I'm giving it to Mark on his unpredictability. Bane would not know what to do with this guy. Thank you for liking the posters. What's your favorite drawing interpretation of the Turtles? What are we talking about? Like who draws them? But I love I really don't hate anybody's interpretation of the Turtles. Like anybody who comes with a different look for them, I'm fine. Like just keep it to the point where they look like similar like that. If you know, or like this, my most hated interpretation is the last movies. I hate those looks. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate that they're giant. No, can't stand that. And I would say am I pulling for Seth Rogen's version? To me, still the original Turtles movie is the best Turtles movie out there. Puppets and all. And I prefer practical effects over special effects, green screen, all that stuff. I would love to see them go back to practical men in suits with maybe a little bit of special effects. Between all of Spider-Man's powers, which one would I pick? I mean, you're gonna get them all. So if you were, I'm just saying, um, his brilliance comes from just knowledge. That's not even a power. That's just him. He created his web shooters. He created the weapon. That just shows how brilliant he is. The spider tracers, all that stuff. He even made that suit. So he's also a seamstress at best. As for his powers, that's hard to say because each one of them has a great advantage. I mean, it's scary to think. People forget just how strong that guy is. Like people look at him and they kind of like, oh, he's not that strong, but there's a reason why he pulls his punches. There's a reason why he does that. Because imagine if you are a person who can lift over 15 tons and you throw a punch at somebody, a normal person, chest, face, wherever, your chest is getting caved in, your jaw is probably getting knocked off. That's dangerous. Hence why it would be scary if this guy truly was a villain. He'd kill somebody. His strength is off the chart. His dexterity, his balance, I love that. Like, you can't really knock this guy over because of he's so balanced. And now the fact that this dude knows martial arts, thanks to Shang-Chi teaching him and helping him learn his own style of martial art, that's even more dangerous. The way of the spider, the way they describe it is so cool. Shang helped him learn that. It's a close quarters fighting technique. QTC. Basically, he uses his super speed to get in, hit, quick, but putting his strength into basically hitting your pressure point. So imagine this guy with his super strength hitting every pressure point in your body. What do you think? Are you going to stand or are you going to fall? You're falling. You're falling. I've trained in martial arts for almost 20 years. I started when I was 8, and I learned the pressure points of the human body. So imagine getting hit back here, right here. That's a pressure point. The ears. You hit somebody in the ear, you'll knock somebody equal. hit somebody in the ear, your equilibrium is fuzzed up. That's what makes him so good. That's what makes him so scary too. And if Marvel really had writers that put the emphasis on that, imagine that. That's why when everybody goes on talk about, oh, like he's not that strong, it's like, what are you talking about? When he needs to show his strength, boy, does they Marvel put that like, yeah, okay. Want to see how strong he is? All right. Yes, he doesn't have the quote unquote muscle durability to lift and hold things up like Superman. Superman muscle durability, the Hulk, Thor, people like that, their muscle durability is super over the chart, so they're allowed to hold things up. He can still hold things up. He held up the side of a building. He held up. He can throw a tank like it's nothing. His webbing, the physics and science behind his webbing is genius. People ask me all the time, why do I like him so much, Mike Matthew? Because there's a point of the realism around him, the relatability to him, but also that sense of even and nobody can deny if you had superpowers like him or different, you can't tell me y'all probably wouldn't be out trying to make money with them. That's exactly what he did at first. What happened? He lost somebody, and that's what made him turn into that. If he didn't, if Uncle Ben did not die, he probably would have still been a pro wrestler. Been doing those Believe It or Not shows, been making money. He would have been in show business before fighting crime and things like that. And it would probably have been other heroes that would have started coming to him like, why are you doing this? You should be doing this. I can imagine seeing Captain America go reach and look him up and be like, why are you doing this, son? Like, you're good enough to be an Avenger or something like that. And I say son because that's how Cap talk. Cap would call him son. He calls everybody son. Reason why. I'm just saying. Uh let's move on. Would you come out the victor? Who will come out the Melina or with no plot and stupidity involved? I'm still giving it to Kitana on skill. Um, what do you think about the Sindel from Mortal Kombat in terms of personality and characteristics? We talk about Sindel, like I don't mind it, but she's just so horny. Like especially now, like everything is about like whipping a man and almost getting off on it, and you know I don't like the fact that they made her, she was always evil now. I hate that because that's not how it was. She was turned into that. The fact that she was always pure evil, I don't agree with that one. I don't. Would I want to work for Marvel, Image, Mirage, aka Dark Horse, IDW? Would love to work for any of those companies. Dynamite, Boom, you name it. I'd work for all of them. I wouldn't care. If the only reason you would I if I was working for Marvel, I could still work for an indie company. I can't work. I can't be with Marvel and work for their rival. Same thing with DC. I couldn't do that. But yeah, I'd be like, if I've always said this, if I worked for Marvel or DC, I would want to be like Jim Steranko. How when he came into Marvel, they almost gave him a portfolio of characters. They're like, pick a character. He chose Nick Fury for the first, and look at where his Nick Fury went. I would be like that. like for Marvel. Like with Marvel, it would be easy. It would be kind of hard because the first thing I'm gonna ask is, who's writing Spider-Man right now? Because I would want to write Spider-Man, and I would do so much. They would probably fire me because I would take everything Marvel did wrong with Spider-Man and give him a FU. Like, this is how you should be doing this character now. Like the whole man-child stuff and keeping him a eligible bachelor, that's out the window right there. That is out the window. This man, I would have him and MJ married with a child, kids, and everything, and still have him be Spider-Man, just on a better level. I would have him working where he's not being fired or anything like that. Um, I like the whole concept when he had his own business, and I like that. I still would keep the relatability to him, but still, I it'd still be like. And if I couldn't get Spider Man, I'm like, who's writing Daredevil? If I couldn't write Daredevil, Spider Man, the X Men, um, those are definitely three. Uh, I'd be like, can I create my own team? And if they say yeah, and I could have, and then I would be like, they'd be like, oh yeah, you can, and you could you can pick your own members. Oh, that's I'm having a field day with that because even when I was called the team guy, like I could put together a team just like that real quick. Um, so if not them, then I'm like, anybody writing Luke Cage and Iron Fist? No, nope. I'll be right there writing them too. I'd put them back together. DC would be, I would leave all the other like the known characters. I'd be like, give me Black Lightning. Give me, give me. The only character I would fight for is probably him. I would fight. I would fight for. I would fight for Dick Grayson or Tim Drake for real. I would want to do a Tim Drake series. Um, I'd leave Wonder Woman alone because I'm like, I don't need to do her. But I would like, give me Black Lightning, give me the JSA. I'll do a JSA series with a heartbeat, um, complete heartbeat. That's another one of my favorite comic teams. I love them. If they said to me, "Well, we want you to do Justice League," I'm like, no, I don't want that because I want the characters you don't put the spotlight on, and I'm gonna make y'all want to put the spotlight on. That would be my thinking. So if you thought them pushing Black Lightning as of late was good, I'm gonna make him into a household superstar name. I would I would have him basically on that same level as they've always written. The last series I read with Black Lightning was the latest Outsiders book. And Bruce came on and said Black Lightning is on the same power level. He's on the same power level as Clark and Diana. And I'm like, then why the hell are y'all not pushing this dude? If you got Bruce saying that, Batman, your go-to guy, the guy that you have your throat down his you know what so much. Y'all got your lips all over his ass so much. If he's saying it, why aren't you doing it? And I totally agree with that. Jefferson, his powers are off the charts, and he's fully in control of them too. There's so much that nobody understands about. They think, oh, he just does shoot lightning. He does so. There's so much more that his powers do to him. Like his powers actually amplify his strength, amplify his dexterity, his durability. There's so much that his powers do that they don't push that. And it makes me wonder they don't want to because he would outshine the others. That's why go read The Other Side of the DC Universe by John Ridley, where they showcase just how strong and what these characters are made of. So far, they've done 4 issues so far of that great series. They've done Black Lightning. They've done Mal Duncan and Bumblebee. They've done Kitana, another great one. And the latest one they just did was Renee Montoya. Good stuff. Let's go. Let's go. What Capcom individuals actually amaze you? Uh, well, definitely I see myself as Ryu a lot. Just the way he carries himself. Ryu always amazes me. Dante always amazes me because I love the fact that he has this swag and this attitude. But you would think, oh, a lot of things have happened to him. You would think he would turn out like Blade, but he's not. He's charismatic. He's got this charisma about him. The man loves pizza and strawberry milkshakes. He's the Muhammad Ali of video game character. Talks a lot of trash, but he backs it up. He's different than other badasses like uh, Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden or somebody like that. Ryu comes in, gets the job done. Ryu Hayabusa, he comes in, gets the job done. He looks evil in the eye and spits at it like, yeah, you got nothing on me. I'm the ultimate ninja. And I'm also half dragon, if you didn't know that. Yes, right. Yeah, Ryu Hayabusa is half dragon. That's he's a badass. That's why I have always said if there's one crossover in video games I want to see, it's a Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden crossover with them two together. Like a buddy. Like it'd be great to see. I'd love that. I'd love that. Dante, definitely. There's so many, but Mega Man he gotta throw the blue bomb, the true blue bomber or Rock Man to everybody. Um, he doesn't get enough credit that he deserves. Um, he doesn't. All the individuals, all the alumni from Resident Evil, they're great. And thank you, Capcom, for not pulling that stupid. I knew it was a red herring, but I promised if they had made Chris Redfield a villain, I would have I would have I would have been done. I would have been like, I'm done with Resident Evil. I'm not playing no more Resident Evils because I'd have been so pissed off because there was no build to that, none, but it wasn't. So I'm happy. But I do believe, and I'm gonna end it on Capcom. I do believe it is time, Capcom, you start bringing back the older alumni. It's Ethan was cool, but let's not forget who had this ship running properly before him. Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Leon Kennedy, Claire Redfield. They had the ball. They were rowing that ship before him. So whatever this next one's going to be, is probably going to be with Ethan's daughter. But I want to see Jill back in these games. I want to see Leon, Claire, all those who survived back in these games. I still feel that there needs to be maybe one more where they can just wipe Umbrella. I know they talk about every time they find ways of incorporate new stuff. The village is great. They incorporated that, but my problem with the village was it really revolved around each. It was more of a family issue, like the family drama. All the different house members, they all were trying to impress Mama, every last one of them. And Lady Demetrescu, as it's called, as the tall lady before she had a name, she was great, but yeah, it was like y'all all got mama issues. Y'all all trying to impress Mama. Some got parent issues. Let's see. What would it be like if Tekken was in the Marvel universe? I don't know. That'd be kind of hard because the Zombatsu, the Hiachi and all of them. I don't know. It'd be they wouldn't be as powerful as they are now because they it wouldn't be. Um, what did I think about both '90s Mortal Kombat films? I love the original. Hate Annihilation, but I've always said his Annihilation was far better than that new one. No, thank you. No, siree. Didn't care too much about that new one came out. Um, Outside of certain parts, I still will give them a big FU for the way they treated Scorpion in that. Give me a goddamn break. That's why y'all do my favorite character like that. Raiden in that was a dick. I hated the whole concept of their power stuff. That was stupid. And Cole. Oh my God. Good God, that character. I'm going to a con as Mick Foley have the look for it. I'm not laughing at you. I mean I've I like cosplaying too. I've cosplayed as my man Spider-Man. That was the last convention I went to as Spider-Man. That I dressing up as Spider-Man, that broke me emotionally because that broke me emotionally because you don't know what that felt like to have little kids grabbing you. Hi, Spider-Man, 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 come take picture with me. There were many times I had to like, okay, well, hold on a minute, like pull my mask up and wipe my eyes because I was crying so much because I saw myself in those kids. I'm like, so this is what it felt like for me. That I have treasured those pictures I've taken with those kids. Kids just wanted to come up and hug me, and I'm like, hey buddy, how you doing? Like, you know, you being good? You enjoying your time? Like, they didn't know, they didn't care. I mean, there was like several Spider-Man around, and I can't tell you how many times it'd be great. You're walking by, there's another Spider. Yo, Spidey, what's up? You know, stuff like that. When I cosplayed as Agent 47 from the Hitman series, barely nobody knew who I was. And I'm in character. Like I'm walking around in character, like with that swag, the face. The only thing I had the suit, the tie, everything. Bald, I cut my hair off, I shaved it. The only thing that I did not have was the barcode tattoo. I had it, but it wouldn't stay on. It was like a water tattoo. You put it on, you water, and it'll stay. And every time it wouldn't stick and the ink wouldn't, and I was like, Jesus. So by the time certain people knew who I was, they were like, oh, Agent 47. Like I wasn't talking as much. I just had this scowl, like, like I was in a zone. Like the only time I came out of my character was when I was meeting favorite writers and stuff. And when I dressed up as Agent 47, that was the first time I met my friend Gail Simone. Now I say my friend because legitimately we are legit friends. Like I have talked to her personally, and anytime they see me, and I've met her over 3 times in person. I love Gail, and she has been such a treasure to me because she's helped me grow in this community as well. Like getting my name, like she didn't have to do any of the stuff she done. She will put my name out there. Hey, you guys should go check this guy out. Like you could tell he loves comics and everything. It's just like, yeah. And her husband, Scott, just a cool dude. When I was Agent 47, I was in the zone. If I did it again, I would probably play Dan Bull's rap of of Agent 47 from Hitman. I am nobody. That you ever heard that? You ever heard of a guy called Dan Bull? He makes raps of different video game characters, and um his his uh his his rap about Agent 47 is great. It has a nice beat, and what he's talking about, it's everything that Agent 47 is. Like, I'll give you a little bit of it, a little sample of it, but it's dope.
I am nobody. I am everybody. Heaven forbid that any killer could be better than me. You'll never see me. I'm chameleon. Premium. I could be bohemian. Deviant. I hope we're dressed up as a sheriff.
You hear the lyrics? I am nobody. I'm everybody. Like that. That's Hitman. That's dope. When I heard that, somebody sent that to me. I was like, they were like, "Yo, you're a big Hitman fan, Chris. Listen to this." I listened to it. I was like, "Yo, this is dope." I was like, "Okay, it's alternative rap, but it's cool." And I was like, "Is his music on iTunes?" And I checked them, typed in Dan Bull, and I was like, "Yo, look at all." It was great. And I love that beat too. And I was like, "Is there an instrumental to that? Just that beat?" And I was like, "Yep, it was great stuff." All right. Um, Witches, warlocks, yeah, there's a bunch. I, I, yes. I mean, Merlin comes to mind. He's a sorcerer. I love Merlin. I'll read anything with Merlin in it. Doctor Strange is a sorcerer. You know, I like Charm. Yes, I love Charm. I I love that series. The original Charm. I watched the remake, and it's not bad, but it just wasn't for me. It's like the same thing. Like, I still need to watch the remake of Walker, and I said I'm going to do it. I haven't watched it yet, but I grew up with the original Walker. You know, to me, Chuck Norris will always be Cordell Walker. You know, they want to because the new Walker has I think Jared Palisky from Supernatural. He's the new Walker, and I still need to watch it. But I liked the original because it really did more for that character. And Chuck and I've always loved Chuck Norris. He's like one of my favorite Westerner martial artists. Like, Chuck gets respect everywhere. It's not like, oh, he's only popular here. No, he gets respect everywhere. All right, gonna move a little questions. Mutant, mutant. How about a mutant? What kind of what kind would you want to be represent or present as? Doesn't matter to me in terms of mutant. Like, I would look like Kurt Wagner. Like, I'll look like that. I got no problem looking like that. If I was a mutant that had like I looked more like a demon or looked more animalistic, I'm fine with that. I'll be like, hey, this is who I am. I'm still human, but I look like let's say I look like a tiger, and I have all the strength and speed and everything like a tiger. Okay, I ain't gonna hurt you, you know. But to me, I've always said this, and you know, this is just personally me. As much as the X-Men is my number one favorite team in comics. Nobody comes before them. Um, but one of the things about the X-Men that I am sorely kind of tired of is this constant stupidity of the people of the Marvel universe. Like, they it seems to me like they cannot accept the fact that or they get into this now. When they first came out, I understood it, but now it is too to be still prejudiced against mutants when you got heroes as powerful as them and you root for them and everything like that, it makes no goddamn sense to me. Makes no sense to me. Like, how can you still be prejudiced against you filthy mutant, even when you see them? Like, there was one time, there was one issue I read where Kitty led a team and they saved this bus full of kids, and the kid wanted to come up and hug Kitty, and the woman basically is like, "No, get away from that filthy mutant." I'm looking at her like, what the hell is wrong with you? These people put their lives on the line, and you hating on them because of their genetic, because they're mutants. It makes no goddamn sense to me anymore. It's like, how can you cheer for people like the Fantastic Four, the, any other any other character that got superpowers, and most of them don't even look. You can't even tell if they're mutants. How do you know they're mutants? Because most of them look human. It wait, look, I don't want to say human, but they don't look any different. Like, if I saw Storm and she did something, like, let's say, okay, let's say by coincidence there was a rampage or something like that, and I'm on the bridge and my pops gets pushed off the bridge and he falls, and Storm catches him, brings it back. What do you think I'm gonna do to Storm? You think I'm gonna say, "Get away from me, you mutant"? No, I'm gonna hug the hell out of this woman. I'm gonna kiss her hands like, "Oh my God, thank you so much for saving my pops." I'm not gonna be like, "Get away from him." It's that bugs me till this day, and they still center that till this day in comics around X-Men, and it's just stupid to me. I cannot stand it. It's like, if I was in the Marvels, I'd be looking at these people like, you're a bunch of goddamn idiots. These people saved us, but you still want to. You don't. I'd literally probably come out. How do you know they're mutants? How do you know that? How do you know that? Huh? How do you know that? Like, it bothers me. For a long time, I remember when people used to think he was a mutant. They used to have it on his books. It's like, how do you, like, look at Rogue. Look at Rogue up there. Where's y'all can't see. Look at her right there. Look at that Southern Belle and all her goodness. How the hell y'all know she's a mutant? Huh? Is it because of this? Is it because of this? Huh? Is it because of that? Because of this? The X on her chest? So you see that, and this is like I said, this is to all those idiots and the humans in the Marvel universe. You see that X, that instantly considers, oh, mutant, right? Stupid. He used to be considered a mutant. I'm surprised they don't consider Jen a mutant. There probably is some idiots in the Marvel universe that do. It's ridiculous. If that bothers me, y'all, I can't tell you how much that bothers me as in terms of a fan of the X-Men. And I look at that and I'm like, we still on this. We're still on this. But you can love a character, and I hate to use them, but you look at, I'm surprised nowadays nobody even cares what Benjamin J. Grimm looks like. They don't honk on him. They don't hate him. Oh, he's a rock man. Nobody's like, oh, Thing, get away from me. But someone like Storm, someone like Betsy right here, someone like Rogue, someone like Cyclops, Havoc, everybody, Peter, Kitty, you name them. They're like, oh my God, a mutant, get away from it. It bugs the shiznits out of me. And that is one of the things I can say right now. I can say right now to y'all that when they do enter the MCU, it makes me wonder, How are they going to be portrayed? Are they going to pull that whole uh, all the hate against mutants, hate against mutants? Are they going to are Kevin Feige and them going to try something different and be like, you know what? Do we really have to go that route? And to some people's eyes and to some historians and them, you're probably going to have to give a little bit of prejudice against them. But it to me, it doesn't need to be ridiculous. All right. Um, do I like DeLoreans? Yes. What if Bayonetta was in the Marvel universe? That'd be interesting. Um, but she wouldn't be as she would be powerful, but I don't think she would be up like on like Scarlet Witch's level or something like that. Thoughts on the Highlander reboot? I hope they don't wreck it with lazy writing. This is a franchise that I think needs a reboot. Personally, I do think Highlander does need a reboot or a remake. Um, and Henry Cavill, love him, big ups to him. I still give DC Warner Brothers a big fu for what y'all did to that man. Y'all did that man dirty, but he still got The Witcher, and hopefully, and if I'm Kevin, I've said it before. People ask me about that. If I'm Kevin Feige, I'm keeping him on the low. I'm calling that man every day and telling him, "Oh yeah, you're with us. No doubt about it. We're just I'm just trying to find a character for you to play. Like I have him sign an agreement. Yeah, you're with Marvel, but I'm gonna stick it to DC and Warner Brothers big time. I'm gonna put him as if I'm Feige, I'm putting him as a character, not Superman related. So people are like, oh, just have him be Sentry. Forget it, because I don't want to hate him. I hate the Sentry. I don't want him as Sentry. Uh, would I put him as Brian Braddock, Captain Britain? Maybe. I may put him as that. Somebody even said, oh, he'd be a good Warren Worthington, Archangel, Angel. And I'm like, yeah, but there's other characters I can see him. And I don't want to give that away because, one, that is a segment that I'm going to do soon. So, yeah, I do have that planned. But, yeah, man, like, um, yeah, like he's going to be a part of the Highlander. And I'm fine with that. I love the original. I love the original. I don't care too much for the sequels and the Highlander source. Oh my god, that ruined it. I love the series, but then they started just going out there with even the Highlander the Raven. I wasn't too fond of. I thought it was interesting, but I still wasn't too fond of it. And then the source. Oh, ruined it. Ruined it. Terrible. So yeah, my only issue with the original Highlander movie as will always still be the casting of Christopher Lambert as a Scottish Highlander when you can clearly hear this French accent come out of this man. And I'm like, he's supposed to be Scottish, right? Even Adrian Paul would pull off a bad Scottish accent, but at least you heard it because he is a part of Clan MacLeod as well. But I was just like, that boggled me. It was funny even with Sean Connery being there. It's like when he talked about, I thought you were Egyptian, I thought you were Spanish, and you hear this strong Scottish accent come out of. But I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I love the movie. Still to this day, I love that movie. Um, but I hope they do take it seriously, take the time, and Henry Cavill, do your thing, my man. I'm pulling for you. Um, All right, gonna skip around some questions. Okay, I see a Kelly Who question because I'm a big Kelly. I love Kelly Who. That woman is gorgeous as fuck. I'm sorry, I had to curse that. That woman is. So I'm gonna answer this question. I'm sorry, guys. What up from Miami? From Sean Christian. What up? Um, 3305. Yeah, I know the area code down there. Anyway, um, Kelly Who. What was Kelly Who best in? I I've always thought Kelly Who had presence, and I've always felt like whatever she was in, she brought it. Even 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 uh even Friday the 13th. Yeah, she was in Friday the 13th, guys. She was in Friday the 13th. Jason Takes Manhattan. She was in that. She got killed off, but yeah, she was in that. But loved her in Surf Ninjas. I thought she was gorgeous. And once again, I've said it before, Asians don't raisin. So she is aging like fine wine. And I love that streak of gray she has now in her hair. That accentuates her beauty now. I'm like, uh, it's just beautiful. Um, Loved her in the Scorpion King. I thought she was great in that. But I loved her in Martial Law with Sammo Hung. She was great in that. She was great in that TV series. I thought she was great. Um, but like I said, everything she's been in, I'm a big fan of her in. Like I will watch her in, even when she plays the bad girl, and she has played it. There have been movies and that she was the bad girl. I remember she guest starred on Law and Order SVU, and I felt so bad for her in that role. She was basically a rape victim. The difference was that the guy who raped her would give he knew this kind of drug that they couldn't fight it. Like it was almost they were scared, but he would tell them like, "Do you want it?" And she was scared, but in a yes way. Like she was like yes, but she was scared at the same time. I felt so bad for her. I was like, I wanted to beat this rapist ass. I was like, oh, you piece of shit. And I love Law and Order SVU. So yeah, I'm a big Law and Order fan. So anytime I see a favorite actor or actress in it that is playing a victim, I want to beat these rapists' ass. I'm like, you pieces of shit. Like, excuse my language. Like, and that's why I am so like. People ask me like, "Oh, come on, Chris, it's not." No, I'm like, no, it's rape. Like, fuck that shit. Like, I will hurt somebody if I saw a man attempting to rape. I do not care how big you are. I'm crushing something of yours. I'm gonna curb stomp you. I don't give two shit. Once again, my anger will come off the roof. Small as I am, to me, when I get angry, I am a big man, and that anger will come out, and I will hurt you. I made that perfectly clear. My mom, my one of my aunts is a detective, and actually is a detective in the real SVU. Like, and I've told her many times, like I'm like auntie, if I saw a guy attempting to rape, he better call the cops because I'm gonna hurt him. I'm gonna hurt him. And 9 out of 10, yes, it is a guy. But yes, and I love how my aunt broke it down to me when I went to the precinct and sat with her for a couple, where she's like, yeah, it is. I'm not gonna say what precinct she is, but she did say yes, there are, and most of the time it is the males that, but you'd be surprised that there are some female rapists. And she made sure she's like, I want you always to keep that in mind. Like, and we've seen that, and we're seeing that now. But even when you do see it now, and it does happen, what's the always the turnabout of that? But you're a man. How do you let that happen? But you're bigger than how you. It's like it's that double standard bull. I can't stand, like, if that happened to a guy, yo, the man got raped. Like, stop questioning it. I hate that double standard, and we seeing that now with the Johnny Depp, Amy Heard nonsense. It's like the fudge. We got this woman on tape saying this, and y'all still are bugging that Johnny Depp did all this. I'm like, the double standard bull is real. Fuck you. Sorry. Again, fuck that. I can't stand that shit. I can't. All right. Have you ever been to indoor amusement parks such as theme parks like the Mall of America in Minnesota? Yeah, but not there. I know that is a huge mall out there. I actually want to visit that mall, but no, I've never been that. The mall that I work at has like stuff like that. I do. Where I do security. Yeah. Do you like Venom as a hero, villain, or anti-hero, or anti-villain? Villain, anti-hero. Not a. I don't mind a full hero, depending on who's the host. When Flash Thompson had it, he was a full hero. I liked it. Eddie Brock, I liked him both ways, and I don't mean that sexual. Uh, would a Jim Carrey made a good Carnage? Maybe. I mean, depending. I would also throw Matthew Lillard up in there too, because he reminded me of Cletus Cassidy. Especially, go watch Matthew Lillard in Scream. It's like, goddamn, I see Cletus Cassidy straight up. All right. What's up, brother? How you doing? Craigie Craig, what is good, my dude? It is, how are you? I should say. How are you, brother? I hope you're good. Hey, Chris, it's been a while. What is good, Juan? ¿Qué pasó? Let's give her who's your favorite Native American character in comics? This is from Caroline. My favorite Native American comic character is the homie James Proudstar Warpath. Next would be Danny Moonstar. Echo definitely is up there. Looking forward to seeing Echo. You know, she's gonna debut in the Hawkeye series, and then she's getting her own spinoff. So big ups to Maya Lopez, and I'm proud. I'm proud that they got an actual. She's the actress that is playing her is actually Native American. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, practical effects and CGI does work together. Want a good example of that? Go what? I know a lot of people hate the movie, but look at Jurassic Park 3. That was a mixture of practical and CGI, and you couldn't even tell the difference. It's good stuff. All right. Now that Shang is in the MCU, it'd be great to see Peter. Yeah, that would be interesting. I wouldn't mind that. Looking forward to that movie too. How does Spidey stamina or endurance? How many days or weeks could he fight without tiring or fatigue? Uh, Peters does not have super endurance like Cap. Cap don't get tired. I mean, Peter, he can go for a while, but there are many times he's fought and you can see him huffing and puffing like, but still he recovers very fast. So even though he's like, but he'll recover really quick. He recovers, his metabolical system recovers quickly. It, it, it's quick. It's not like he needs it. Like, for example, back in the day, Wolverine, if he got stabbed or anything like that, cut, well, he had the healing factor, yes, but it took him a couple of days to fully heal. Now his healing factor is on a godlike level. Like, and that's some of the things I've heard a lot of people have said they don't like about Wolverine now is like they have made his healing factor on this godlike level. Like, you want prime example of that? Go back and read Secret Invasion. I will never forget this. Secret Invasion was a good series, was a good mini event, and in that, Black Widow, Natasha, empties a full M16 clip into Wolverine. The whole clip. And he's just standing there with holes in his face, all over. And he just says, "It's me, Red." Not even a sense of like, "Oh my God, this hurts." Nah, and he's just healing. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, he's not the Midnighter. He's not Midnighter where he can shut off his pain receptors. No, the ones that have written Wolverine great, they have always gone on when he does his monologue and say, people tend to think because I have a healing factor, I don't feel anything. He says, I feel it every time I get shot, I get stabbed, I feel that. And I love when they used to do that. And they used to go, when Wolverine used to get shot, he's like, I'm going to be pissing or shitting bullets now for a whole night now. And I remember there was a panel where he talked about, he's like, do you know what it's like to poop out bullets? He said, it's not a good feel. I was cracking up, but it's like, yeah, over time, yes, characters do evolve. Luke Cage has evolved big time. He used to never be as strong as he is now. His strength level is even higher. Why? Because he got the same process that made him into Luke, into who he is. It doubled again. He got the process again. The same accident, which was an accident, they did the process again with him, which doubled his durability in terms of his unbreakable skin. So now his unbreakable skin is on that same level almost as Superman now. Like bullets bounce up. That's kind of like that's Luke. Like it used to be like back in the like maybe a couple of not even back in the day that most, but maybe 2006, 2000. Even when Luke would get shot in the it still came off like any kind of like a cop. If you got shot with a gun and you wearing Kevlar vest, you're still gonna go down because that still hurts. If somebody shot you with a gun and you got a bulletproof vest, you're still gonna feel it. That's why it when you see movies and they got the vest and they fall down and they're just still lying there because it still hurts. That's how Luke was for a while, especially if it was up close. But after a while, when he got that process again, that durability now is on a different level now. So like hitting him, like what you saw in the show, when that dude punched him and his all you saw is his bone coming out of his wrist. That's that's how it is. Like the characters will evolve. Their powers, especially if they're superheroes, they're gonna get better. They're gonna get better, but by upping their strengths, you gotta up their villain strength. So but yeah, like it is what it is. But Spider-Man, yeah, his durability is still good. His enhanced, but yeah, he can get tired, but he recovers very quickly. What's a song you hate from an artist you love? Um, oh man, that's a good question. Hmm. I don't nearly have one. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody. Most of the artists I love, and there's a song I don't hate it. Um, I can't think. I can't think of one. I can't. Trying to think. I can't think of one. I'm going through different genres too. Soul, R&B, rock, hip hop. I'm trying to. It's not that I hate it, but I don't listen to it anymore. Like Eminem, I can think of right now. There's his first single, his first track, "I'm Slim Shady." I don't listen to it. Hi, my name is. I don't care for that too much no more. I really don't. I don't hate it, but I don't care for it too much. Like if it comes on and I have the power to turn it off, I'll turn it off. I'm like, yeah, I don't care for that too much no more. Out of all his songs, that's one that I really don't care for too much. Hi, my name is what? I don't really care for that too much no more. That that's what I can think of. Big Planet, hey, what's good? All right, there are certain people here that I haven't seen or heard from in a while, so I'm gonna start going to their questions. Just no offense to everybody who's asking questions. Uh, Juan, Chris, what did you think of a Flash animated series in AU? Anything. I don't care, Juan. Anything but another Batman and even Superman. Like I love Superman. I have the utmost respect for Superman. He's not my favorite hero. He will never take the spot from that guy right there. He'll never take that spot. Never. But I respect the character. I respect the what he did. If it wasn't for Superman, there would be no Spider-Man, in a sense. He is the godfather of superpowered heroes. I will always. But the fact that they're doing another new Batman, and that's why I did that opinion spot. I had to give my opinion on that. Like to me, I don't care about those. I really don't. Will I watch it? Yes. But it's like, what difference are y'all gonna do with this Batman? He's gonna be darker. Ooh, we haven't seen that before in a cartoon. The original was dark. There were certain episodes and that was dark. I'm looking at this one. I'm like, what's the difference? The only difference is he looks more like his 1930s look. I said it in my opinion spot segment. If they really want to set this apart, they will have this mother with a gun. And I'm like, now that's the part because for those who don't know, for all those who are not comic extraordinaires or omni geeks like us, you would know that in the beginning, Batman used to carry a actual gun. Yeah, he carried a gun. If they do that, that'll set it apart. But to me, it's like, what difference? What are you going to do differently? To me, with the Superman one, I'm like, it has an anime feel. I get it. It looks like the same animation that that last Spider-Man cartoon had, but it's going to focus not just on Clark, but also on Lois and Jimmy as a whole. So the trio together with Superman playing like a part in it. I'm like, okay, yeah, but why are y'all just doing them? How many Batman cartoons have we had? A lot. How come you aren't giving him a animated series? Who would watch an all animated series just about my man Dick Grayson right here, Nightwing? I would. I would. Y'all love doing his solo series on him in the comics where he is his own man. Why y'all can't do a series on him? Y'all do Batman and Superman, but you never. How come? How come I don't have her? I don't have. But how come a Wonder Woman? How come there's no Wonder Woman? Flash. I'd take a Flash animated series big time. Aquaman, Green Lantern. You could have brought Green Lantern back. But you go back to, and I get it. He's the money maker. I get it. I understand that. No problem. No problem. But you cannot deny, and there are people that may hate what I'm about to say, but you cannot deny that this company has their mouth so far down this character's, it's ridiculous. It's like they cannot go far without having him. Period. If he was a person, if he told the people of DC, you jump when I tell you to jump, they're gonna be like, yes, sir. Kiss it. Which cheek? Left or right? Suck it. You want it hard or fast? You don't believe that? If you don't believe that, you are bugging. They put more emphasis on that character than any other character, and that bothers me because there's such great characters outside of him. Even in his own family, I'm like, you could have gave Nightwing, you could have gave Tim, you could have gave Barbara. I would kill to see a Barbara Gordon, a Batgirl centered animated series. Y'all still talking about doing the Batgirl movie. Okay. But to me, once again, with Warner Brothers, DC, Sony is another one up there. They just clearly just throw shit at the wall just to see what's gonna stick. Ooh, oh wow. You know what? Hey, we're gonna do a Craven movie without Spider-Man. Let's see that stick. Oh, that stuck. Yeah. And you know who we're gonna get to play Craven off? Yeah, Alan Johnson. Aaron Johnson. The same guy who played Quicksilver. And to me, that was no coincidence. That was Sony telling the MCU, ha ha ha, okay, suck this. You, oh yeah, watch this. We casted him. Y'all didn't cast him as Quicksilver in WandaVision. Oh yeah, suck this. There you go. I don't care about it. I don't. People have asked me, are you going to check out Morbius? Nope. You going to check out Venom 2? No. Hell no. You could have that. You could have that. Will I check out Spider-Man into Spider-Verse? Oh yeah. And that's one thing right there I would say. Sony, you should just stick with Miles. Put the spotlight on Miles and give Peter and everybody let Marvel do what they want to with him. But no, you're too proud and greedy, and you failed how many times with this character? Give it up. Y'all want to throw characters. You want to give every character a movie that don't need it. I ain't gonna go watch a jackpot movie, a one and done character that did nothing. The only reason why she got popular is because people thought that was Mary Jane as a superhero, but it wasn't. You want to do a Black Cat and Silver Sable movie. I don't care. Because to me, it's more this than substance. I looked at that Venom 2 trailer, y'all, and I'm like, huh? Like, huh? What? Like, no. It bothers me when these studios seem to go more for substance than creativity, honor. And don't get me wrong. And first of all, let me make this perfectly clear to everybody. Oh, he's only said that because he sees the MCU. And no, there are times the MCU even screws up, but they don't screw up to the point where they don't honor the source. That's the one thing. And a prime example of that to me is Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy. Everybody thought was going to be the chink in that armor. Finally, people loved it. I liked it, but here's the thing. To me, there was the part of me that was also like, that's not Drax. Dave, you're not being Drax. Zoe, you're Gamora. There's a reason why she is known as the deadliest woman in the fucking galaxy. You feel me? And then, of course, there's also the case with characters. I look at Thor, I look at Hulk, I look at Drax, and I'm like, oh boy, you guys have nerfed these guys. Why? But then here comes Carol Danvers. And as much as I love that character, they have overpowered her. And don't deny they have. They have. They have overpowered her. She's good, but she is nothing like that. They have overpowered her. And the fact that they have nerfed other characters, I feel that's a detriment to them. And that's one thing I do not like. I'm like, why are you nerfing them, but you're going balls to the wall for Carol? Why? Honor the source material. When Hulk gets mad, he gets stronger. He's the strongest there is. Even Smart Hulk was extremely strong. The fact that y'all did not have Bruce get a little payback still bugs me to this day. The fact that you had Thor kind of getting bitched out to Thanos bothers me because he can go toe to toe with that man. He's a fucking god. He's not a punk. He's not a pushover. So there are things about the MCU, yeah, it's good, but like to me, I'm looking at some of the new crops of heroes. Shang-Chi is a good example of that. And it's Shang-Chi. You got people at Nerdist and all of them saying Shang-Chi. I'm like, where are you seeing a O in that name? It's Shang, not Shang. It's like what the hell? Like you can't say his name right. Shang. I swear I was watching Nerdist news and he was saying that, and I'm like, and I'm just like, every time he said Shang, I'm like, oh, what the hell, my neck? Why you say? Oh, like it felt like I was getting hit every time. Seeing him, and I'm like, they better go balls to the wall with his martial arts skills. You emphasized in that trailer how long this dude has been training. And that's exactly right. It is not even a question of it's almost like a secondary, it's like a reaction to him now. It shouldn't even be like this man should know how to fight. Like he fights like to the point. Like for all those who don't know shit, he's been training since he was a kid. He was in isolation as a kid. His warlord, crime lord daddy had him training. And yes, his father in the MCU is the Mandarin, but in the comics, no, it's not the Mandarin. And that is where like a lot of us have been scared that because, and that's one thing Marvel does to the comic, they will try to incorporate what they see in the movies into the comics, and I don't like that either. I really don't. I will agree with that. You look at the Guardians of the Galaxy now in the comics, they act too much more like the MCU version instead of staying how they were when Dan Abnett and all of them were writing them. Star-Lord was not a jokey, he was a badass. He was a badass. And then you make them jokey because of Chris Pratt. Rocket, the way they had Rocket is fine, but before he came, and they always said Rocket basically spoke with a strong Cockney accent, you know. So he was talking a little bit like this all the time, you know. So you can imagine Rocket speaking, and he's a Star Lord. We're the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's speaking with that Cockney accent, which I love. So and don't get me, Bradley did a great job. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, all right, yeah, give me, you know, and at even one point, Groot used to talk. Groot didn't just say, "I am Groot." He used to be able to talk. The Guardians changed over time to feel more like that. Even, even, even to some degree, uh, no, they haven't done that. But yeah, but still, the point is, even with the MCU, there are more hits than misses. But you got to respect Kevin Feige's dedication to this company, to the source, everything. Because look, even because of how Denai Grant played Okoye in the series, she's had a bigger role now in the comics. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, because when they first introduced the Dora Milaje in, if I'm not mistaken, it was Christopher Priest's run. They really didn't have too much character. They were the warrior woman, his bodyguards, and everything like that. Then you brought in like Nakia, who kind of flips out because for all those who don't know, Nakia, who Lupita plays, she's supposed to be a villain. She's a bad, like she she basically was a former Dora Milaje who can't accept the fact that she was spurned by T'Challa. Like, so she flips out. Like, she flipped out. Like, for those who don't know, also the Dora Milaje were also meant to be women worthy to be wives to him to him. Uh, but them changing the Dora Milaje, giving them more character, giving them, it worked in the favor in the comics as well. So that's a good thing. But a lot of people are scared that once Shang-Chi comes out and they have the Mandarin, they're gonna be like, oh, the Mandarin was really his father. And I will agree, I would not like that, because there has been no build to that whatsoever. It works in the MCU, but this character's already been around for 40 plus years. We know who his father is. Yes, they had to change his name because of he's not called Fu Manchu anymore, but he does have a name, but they still kept what he really was. And now Shang-Chi has its own series now where we're getting more into his family, and he's got other siblings, other half siblings, because his daddy was going around banging a lot of women and making other kids, and it's a good series. You got to check it out. Uh, so yeah, it is what it is. But it is what it is. What X-Men stories would I write? A lot of stuff where I would write, it'd be totally different. Like, the first thing I'm getting rid of for the X-Men stuff is like that blatant, repeated stinking mutants, things like that. That's gone. What Hickman is doing now is interesting, but I wouldn't have done that. I would have not have done that, isolating them. I don't like that. I really don't like that they got their own island. The X-Men can't be killed. They if they die, they get resurrected back to life. I don't like that. I really don't like that. I don't like that they're isolating themselves, that only mutants can go to Krakoa and things like. I don't like that, because to me, you're a mutant and you're a mutant from Earth. Earth is your home. Don't I feel like, why are you hiding from that? You know, I don't like that. I really don't like that. It is just, that's just me. But you know, the way they are pushing the X-Men now, it's it's deserving, yes, but it's like, some of the stuff I'm like, okay, so you got this book. And yes, that's always going to be the problem with the X-Men. There are so many of them, you can't have them all in one book. I am a big believer of that. Like, don't have every character in one book. That was my problem with Hickman's his Avengers run. He had 25 members of the Avengers, and it felt like a goddamn army. And I was like, wait, yo, there are times you don't even have. So that's why he needed like several books just to have each character in it. Same thing with now. It's like you got the original X-Men, then you got X-Force, you got you got New Mutants, you got this, you got that. The Marauders, you got Kitty leading the Marauders. I love Kitty, but I'm like, okay, I don't need her as some kind of captain of a ship and stuff like that. Uh, you know, to me, it's just like weird. It's hard sometimes. It is really hard. Like, that's why I really just stick with X-Men. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna read X-Men. If I read the other books, that's on my time. I'll do them in trades, or I'll read it from a friend, or I'll just go read it online. I'm like, okay, because I do have a site where I can go just read books online. And I'm like, oh, I'll keep up what's going on in them, but I'm not going to be. There's just certain stuff I'm not gonna keep. You know, no. Andre asked me what I think about the Codaverse. New, I'm looking forward to those. I can't wait to see the milestone characters come back. Static, Icon, and Rocket, and Hardware, and all of them. I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait. I cannot wait for that. It's been a long time coming. Treat it like wrestling. Yeah. I'm gonna skip around again. Answering more questions from people I haven't seen in a while. Uh, that's first things first. One thing I have learned about cosplaying is it shouldn't matter your body type or how big you are. I'm a small guy. I'm not very tall, and I played. I cosplayed as Agent 47, who's a tall man. I, Spider-Man is I cosplayed as Spider-Man, and he's way taller than me. Cosplayers I love the most are Ivy Doom Kitty. I love her, and she speaks out a lot about her growing up being ridiculed for her her body type. And then now to me, I look at Ivy Doom, I'm like, she's gorgeous. She's curvaceous. I love that. That's beautiful to me. That's not hideous. That's beautiful. But imagine as a kid, and I remember watching a lecture when she talked about it, like being ridiculed because she was bigger, or she wanted to cosplay as male characters and things like that. There is a stigmata in cosplaying that I don't like, and that needs to stop too. Like the whole concept, well, females shouldn't cosplay as male characters. Why not? Just because they're female, or male cosplayers shouldn't cosplay as female characters. Cosplaying is a form of expression of appreciation. That's how I look at it. That's me giving love back to this character that I love. So it shouldn't even matter Even like I said, I cosplayed as Spider-Man. Spider-Man don't look like me. But why did I cosplay as him? Because I love that character. Because I relate to that character. Now, a lot of people say, "But oh, Chris, why didn't you cosplay as Miles? You know, he's the Black Spider-Man." Correct? But I've never looked at him just being black. He's biracial. So he's the biracial Spider-Man. But here's a question right here I need to ask everybody. Of every time they've had Miles, has anybody truly called him Spider-Man? No, because still to this day, he may be considered that, but the only person that is Spider-Man is that man right there. We're talking future, Miguel O'Hare, but still to this day, Miles is still, they just call him Miles Morales. They, even the comics, Miles Morales, Spider-Man. They don't just say Spider-Man. Why? Because still to this day, they know he's still Spider-Man. He's still Spider-Man, not the other way around. And more importantly, to me, I've always felt I didn't like the fact that they brought Miles into the 616 universe. They should have kept him in the 1610 universe, which is the ultimate universe. And even if he did come into the 616 universe, the main continuity, he should have went under a different name. I understand, yes, I've said it all the time. Spider Boy or something like that. People were like, oh, but Peter was 15 and he was calling himself Spider-Man. True. But that's Spider-Man. You cannot deny that. That's Spider-Man. Miles, yeah. You're an arachnid character, but still, even in the comics, nobody really goes around calling him Spider-Man. They say Miles. Strangers will say Spider-Man. Oh, good, you're that Spider-Man. You're not. But they know, instantly know he's not the real Spider-Man. You know he is a Spider-Man. That's why I felt like he should have changed. They should have gave him a different name. I don't Spider Boy, Kid Arachnid, something to separate him from that. Same thing like how they did with Spider Woman. People seem to forget that at one point the Spider Woman that everybody talked about was Julia Carpenter. Jessica Drew was around, but Marvel wasn't using her. Then when they brought them back, even afterwards, Julia Carpenter changed her name to just Arachne. And before she even took up the role of the new Madam Web, she called herself Arachne. She changed her name because she knew people would recognize as Jessica Drew as Spider-Woman, especially at that time because Jessica was back on the Avengers, publicly in the public eye. People knew that. So she changed her name to Arachne before becoming Spider-Woman. To me, Miles should have done the same thing. They should have did the same thing with Miles, given him a different name. When people think Spider-Man, no matter how knowledgeable you are, you think of that man. And it don't even matter about your color. Whatever you are, you think of that man. You think of that man before Miles. Period. But cosplaying, one, shouldn't matter your size, your weight, everything like that. You are just portraying who they are. I've seen cosplayers who are big play dress up as characters, and I'm like, I've seen brolic, jacked up, muscle bound dudes playing Mario and Luigi, and I'm like Mario and Luigi on steroids. I never looked at like you shouldn't be playing that character. No, look how big y'all are. Y'all should be this and that. Nah, should never matter. You should never feel that way. Never feel that way. That's some advice from your alpha. Never feel that way that you can't be this character, because if you feel like you want to lose, because even I played, when I got the Spider-Man costume, I felt like, yeah, I made it was a little tight, so I knew I had to probably trim down a little bit because of that. Outside of that, I didn't care. Like when people saw me remove my mask and things like that, it was fine. Nobody looked at me like that. But the thing about it was, for me, was when I cosplayed as Spider-Man back in 2 years ago at New York Comic Con, what the joy I got out of it. And I remember when I got home and I was telling Malcolm, and Malcolm was like, "So how was it? Did you enjoy it?" I was like, "I loved it." What I nearly, there's several times, one, I broke down, and everybody heard me talk. I nearly broke down emotionally because the kids that kept coming up to me just wanting to hug. There was this, I'll never forget it. I was near, I forgot what part of the Javits Center I was in, but I was fixing my mask because the eye lens kept getting a little foggy. So I was trying to, and then all I felt, and I was fixing, and I felt something just grab my leg. I looked down, this little like 3-year-old boy grabbed me, and he's just grabbing, and he's Spider-Man. He's looking at me, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. I nearly cried because I'm like, and his dad came running after him, and I'm just like, and he's like, and his dad's just like, and he like, look, Daddy, Spider-Man, I found him, and I'm like, I was, he's like, yeah, I love you, Spider-Man, and I'm like, okay, get it together, breathe. Uh, you can hear me just like, I love you too, man, little man, like, hey, little man, like, like, how you doing? Like, I'm getting emotional. It was so good, and I love that. I love cosplaying for various reasons, and that stuff like that makes my day. When I could put a smile on somebody's face like that, it is. It is what it is. I can be in character. When I cosplayed as Agent 47, I'm in straight character. Like, I'm not smiling. I'm, you know, walking, and there was one time the only time somebody recognized me, I was in full character. And this dude tapped me on Agent 47, and he's like, "Can I take a picture?" And I'm like, and I didn't say a word. And next you know, I just looked at him, and I just said, "Get on your knees." Like, I'm, get on your knees. And his brother took a picture. What I did was I had the the, the I put it around his neck, and I'm just like in the mode, like, there's, and then he was like, and then his brother's like, "Can I get one too?" And I'm just like, and then I pulled out one of my guns, and I had it to his head, and I'm just like, okay, like, and he's like, "Yo, thanks, man." It's like, "Yo, are you in character?" Like, he's like, "Can you talk?" And um, Agent 47. Like, I'm just had this demeanor. Malcolm could tell you straight up, I was in character because he went with me to that convention. That was New York Comic Con 2017. The only time I broke character was when I went to go meet Gail Simone for the first time. That was when my character broke. After that, I'm walking through the aisles, just like, if I missed and hit somebody, it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, bro," and I'm just like, I'm just walking. Yeah. I was scared I was gonna fight somebody that night, that convention. There were times I should have broke character. He's like, there were times I was in character so much, like, if I bumped into somebody, I didn't say sorry. Like, and that I went too extreme in the character part. I was like, all right, I gotta stop. I should have stopped. Like, because there were times I'm like, I hit somebody, and even Malcolm even said, "Chris, you hit that person," and I'm just like, Most of the time I'm getting out of the way, just moving. So yeah, but yeah, I should have been a little bit more crazy. It's funny. All right. So, um, Christopher Lambert should play Ramirez, and I mean he's getting up there now, so it is what it is. Uh, the King of Fighters tournament. I don't really see myself competing. I competed a few times in some tournaments when I trained, you know, in Taekwondo and stuff like that. But you know, um, the person that taught me, she didn't really, like I said, it wasn't really a traditional school. There was only 8 of us. She trained us down in her basement. It wasn't a lot of us. It was like 8 members. So we had more time to learn, and she had more time to grow with us, and find our strengths and find our weaknesses. And I'll never forget her. She was great because she became like a mother figure to me. Me being that I lost my mom, like it was at that time, so it was hard. It was easier for me. Uh, man, damn, Tim. All right, I'm not gonna read that, but yeah, geez. Would Tim Burton have done a better job on Batman 3 than Joel Schumacher? I think to myself, Joel did not really get Batman. I'm in. Hey, bro, how's the love life? Okay, well, hold on. Joel Schumacher, first thing, shouts out to Joel Schumacher because I like Joel Schumacher. He's the one, he gave us Lost Boys. I ain't never gonna, I'll always but he has admitted and he's come out admittedly and said, yes, I put too much of myself into that character. He has admitted it. Yes, I do feel Burton should have continued. Um, he should have continued uh, with part 3. I felt like even part 3, like when Schumacher did it, like he started making Gotham feel not as what Gotham should be. If Gotham was a person, I've always said it'd be a very seasoned, streetwise person. A little grim, a little rough, but also has the side that you would want in a person. You know, but Schumacher's Gotham felt a little bit out there, a little bit wilder. Woo, these gangs with the phosphorescent paint on their faces, and you could see. I was like, yeah, bright lights. Gotham came off too much like Times Square. I'm like, no, that's not what Gotham's supposed to be like. You know, uh, casting Val Kilmer as Batman, I didn't hate it. I've always said he played a better a better Bruce Wayne than Batman. To me, Bruce should also have the brooding side, but he also has that cover side of things. Where, to me, he people would probably start wondering, like, wow, like this is the same guy that lost his parents, but he still has a sunny disposition about himself. That's the cover. Like, you know what I'm saying? You feel me on that? But it's just Schumacher has admitted it, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him, and like, but I respect him more that he came out and said that. Yeah, like I put myself into too much into that. Yes, Schumacher's very openly gay. He's admit that, and I have no issues with that either. I have cousins that are gay, and I love them very much. We're in the month of Pride, and I got no problem with that. I just recently posted on my Facebook, on my Twitter, my support for all my gay family members. Like, no matter what you are, I'm gonna always love you. That's your family. I love you very much. And that's the same thing. I don't have issues with gay. Well, you're trans. I don't have an issue with you. Be you. Do what you want. That's you. Live your life. Schumacher's the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Don't I no I have no hate for him. But I do feel that yes, he really understand the character of Batman? No, he did. He did. Uh my love life, this is from somebody asking me. I've said before, I no question is really off limits. My love life is not really going anywhere in terms of that. There is a woman that I have extreme feelings for. The only difference is I don't. Does she know? I would assume she does know because I've kind of like given her signs like, yeah. Problem with it, guys, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that she does not live in New York. She does not live in New York. She lives in 2 states south of me. So, what states come after New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia? I can tell you that she is in another very big. She's from a big eastern uh, metropolitan city. But you know that saying, you ever seen that? Y'all know Aladdin, and when Aladdin is breaking down Jasmine, right? When he's talking about, she's got these eyes that are, and her smile, she got this hair that is, and she's got these in her eyes, and this smile, oh, like that's legitimately her. The same, like that is the woman. I won't put her name out there because I don't want her. I have to be honorable and keep that between me. But yeah, she's the same way. She's got this lovely hair that she has been growing for a long time. She's got this beautiful smile. Oh, her smile. Her smile gets me every freaking time, y'all. Like I'm dead serious. Like this when I see her smiling, it's like, and we talk, we do communicate, but it's like that's, that's beautiful. Like she's so beautiful. Um, and I remember one of my friends actually saying, "Yo, she is pretty. But it's not even just her looks that I admire. This she laughs. She knows how to make me laugh. She knows how to. She has a great sense of humor, and more importantly, she's a she loves her family and things. I love that, like stuff like that, and I adore her for that. And she's a big geek. She is into the stuff I'm into. There's things she's outside, but the majority, it, she's into things I like. Like when I'm talking about this, oh yeah, I like that too. We just recently had a conversation. We talked about Falcon and Winter Soldier, how much we both love that series from a standpoint of the MCU, but also as a standpoint of two people of color. So it was like, yeah, you know, uh, it is her smile, and she's a year younger than me, and I remember cats were like, dude, she's way taller than me. I'm like, so what? Like, I've made this perfectly clear. If you are a guy and you are insecure, so insecure about dating a woman or being with a woman, or you're a woman and you're so insecure about being with a man who's shorter than you and things like that, you got issues. You're a psychopath to me. That I can't. I can't. I can't with that. Yes, she's tall. She's nearly 6 feet tall. I'm the size of Wolverine. I'm 5'3". She is 5 feet 10. I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all. If you are like that, you got issues. But my love life is, I wouldn't say not so good, but it's not where I want it to be. Um, but as always, I continue to push myself and keep my sense of honor and sense of dignity and everything to a level that I am. Like I'm never gonna feel like, oh, I'm so lonely. Like, how come it's not? No, I'm not like that. I can't be like that. I can't be like that. Like, woe is me. Like, how come it's not happening for me? You got a bunch of douchebags out here getting women and girls and everything. What am I missing? I can't be like that. Can't. I can't be like that. You feel me on that? I can't. So, once again, people ask me all the time, "Are you really like this outside of YouTube?" This is me. What you see, it's me. 100%. I can't. What do I think of Moon Knight as a character? I love Mark Spector. I love Mark Spector. I'm a fan of Moon Knight. I've been reading Moon Knight for a long time. My problem with him is that they have now officially started putting too much emphasis on his mental health. Like he's got the stereotypical split personality. That's not even how split personalities work in person. I've seen what real quote unquote split personality, dual personalities, or whatever, what it really looks like. Every time you see it in movies and books, they completely go a different route with it. I've seen it. I've seen it. I used to work with kids. There was a kid that I used to work with who had it, and I saw truly what that means. You feel me on that? Yeah. But yeah, I love Moon Knight. Can't wait to his Disney Plus series. I hope Oscar Isaac has a good time with that role. Um, I'm pulling for. I always pull for these actors whenever they take up these characters. But of course, I just don't want the Moon Knight series to go off the rail. Like if he's gonna die, I hope he does get resurrected by a god. Khonshu. It ain't a fake. It's not an imaginary. No, it's time for the MCU really to start going out there. Stop grounding everything in reality. We already established that this world has aliens and this and that. It is time to go balls to the wall with this stuff. I no gods exist. Stop having them be some kind of based in like I hate the fact that they based the Asgardians as aliens. Nah, man, they're gods to me. They're gods. Now with Thor, Love and Thunder, whatever role, whatever role, not Russell Crowe's playing. He's saying he's playing Zeus. Then he better be Zeus the Olympian, not just some guy calling himself Zeus. Whatever. We all know who's playing the God Butcher, so there's got to be a reason for that, right? Just saying. All right, keep moving. Top 5 hip hop artists. This is from JPX Art. Well, that depends, but for me, I will always have Rakim up there. Yes, I'm old school, dude. I'm old school. I'm an '80s brat, so I grew up in the heart of hip hop, 1980s hip hop. So you definitely gonna have Rakim up there. I'll definitely LL, the Run DMC, KRS-One, people like that. But if you want to get, see, it's hard for me because I break it down into as to eras and things like that. But then you got to throw the God up in there, Nas. Nas is always going to be up there. Um, DMX, rest in peace. He's X was great. X made you feel everything he's talking about. See, my favorite hip hop is you're telling a story. You're not just talking about, oh, look at my watch and ice in my neck and the grills in my back. Get the hell out of here with that. I don't care about that. Tell me what's going on. I'm like Marvin Gaye. I want to know what's going on. Give me something. Show me something. X did that. Every album, you understood this man's pain, this man's joy, what he was going through, the struggles. That's why he was great. Don't get me wrong. I love a good party song, things like that. You know, I will knock my head to in the club. Like, oh yes, mm, mm. You know, I will knock myself out to Jay's. I got 99 problems, but I all right. But also, but then when I'm looking for lyricists, I'm looking at lyrics. I'm looking at skill on the mic. Yeah, I'm going back to Rakim. That man was a lyric genius. Still is. Nobody. I will put him in the category of anybody. Rakim is the man. Don't sweat the technique. There you go. Don't sweat that. Should Marvel produce animated movies? I wouldn't mind that. They do got an animated series coming out called What If. Definitely looking forward to checking that out. But animated movies would be great if I'm Feige, I'm like, okay, we got the we got the movies down right. All right, let's start tapping into the animated side of things. But we're not going to follow the MCU. We're going to do something different. I'd be them too. Yeah. Into the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie. That's an opinion, but it's a good opinion. Just saying. Favoritism is annoying. Depends. It does depend. But yeah, it's kind of true. Let's see. Aha. All right. Mr. Multiverse. What is good, T? Uh, you need to be Dutch from. I've been told that I should be Dutch from Black Lagoon. I can shave my head, and his look is really easy. The only thing I would have a problem with is growing a goatee. I cannot grow a goatee for the love of me. My beard game sucks, and that's one thing I do get jealous of with certain people, like with guys that I see guys with like full beards, and I'm like that will get me jealous. I get envious of that. I see like, yeah, my chin stuff works, but when I grow my sideburns out, they suck. Like that's why I shave my sideburns a lot because I get patches. There'd be like patches missing here and here, and I'm like, what do I need to do? Go to one of those beard clubs like to and get like the oils and maybe help grow my beard. I might have to do that because I actually want a goatee. I can't. I've grown and everything grows. This don't grow. Even my mustache, it's just pathetic. But my sideburns will grow the hell. Like I'll start looking like Wolverine big time. They'll come out. This will grow, come out. But this, nope. So Dutch would be. I wouldn't mind Dutch. I can be Benny. Yeah. I hope we can go back to uh, Comic Con next year. A lot of the conventions, like I've heard, are opening back up. MegaCon. I was talking to Multiverse, Mr. Multi right here. He was asking me, and we talk, and he was like, you coming back down for at MegaCon?" I was like, maybe not this year. Um, I'll try to get down maybe another year. Like I keep in contact with a lot of people that I met at MegaCon, and A lot of them. There was a couple I met. I interviewed them. One, he dressed up like Gambit. He looked so great. Had the black eyes, the pink black eyes, and his fiance now, because they're they're married or they are fiance. She dressed up like Rogue, and she looked beautiful. And I remember talking about their movies, and she clearly said straight up, Rogue sucks. Like movie Rogue sucks. And I turned to him and I was like, and Gambit, you got. He's like, don't even talk to me about my movie. It's in hell. But yeah, when you hear cosplayers talking, like, yeah, it sucked. Like I'll admit, I have nothing against Anna Paquin, but to me, she was not that. She was not that. She wasn't. She was not that. No way. She was something else. They based her too much on that realism of, to me, what separated Rogue from Ariel. Yes, her powers were different, and but she also had that sunny southern disposition of, yeah, I can't dwell on it too much. I gotta still be my southern charm self, and I love that. I love that about her. It wasn't the cartoon truly gave her a voice, with the sugar and all that stuff. So I will always be grateful for the original cartoon because those cartoons gave these characters voices. You cannot tell me to this day when I read, let's go with Batman. When I read Batman, whose voice do you think I hear coming out of Batman? Kevin Conroy. When I read Superman in comics, who do you think I hear coming out of him? Tim Daly. When I read Spider-Man, that's where it gets tough because there are a couple of people that have done a good job with Spider-Man's voice. Some people say, oh, Christopher Daniel Barnes is the guy for me who did the voice of Spider-Man in the 90s. Okay. But then there's Neil Patrick Harris. I loved him as Spider-Man, the voice of Spider-Man. And then, of course, there's Josh Keaton. With Wolverine, oh, it's easy. It is damn easy for me. I don't hear Mark Hamill. I don't hear uh, McDaniels, Jeff McDaniels. No. I don't hear Steve Bloom either. No. I hear Cal Dodd all the way. All the way. All the way. It's just, it is what it is. You sound like a wrestler doesn't break kayfabe. Yeah, when I was Agent 47, I should have broke kayfabe, but I didn't at that. A wrestler when I was Agent 47. All right, moving on. Oh, that's it. Okay, I know you have a strong feeling about Mario, but if it makes you feel any better, I'm more of a fan of Wario, his art rather than. Okay, all right, now okay. Let's get this out the way. Okay, once again, guys, my pack. I love you guys, but I don't hate Mario. I don't really hate him. I like him. I understand where I understand once again, it's just same like Batman. I get it. I get it. But to me, to me, when I think of Nintendo, there are people above him. And one of them is the man who holds that sword right there. You feel me? To me, when I think about Nintendo, I'm thinking about Samus. I'm thinking about Link. I'm thinking about Captain Falcon. I'm not Mario yet. But if we're gonna stick with Mario, okay, I like Luigi more than Mario. There you go, right there. Yeah. Why? Because Luigi don't get enough shine. It's all Mario. That's narcissistic. That is. If Mario is real, I would feel he's a narcissist because it's all about him. Mario this, Mario that. It's me. It's all about the me. Yeah. If you go play any of the Mario like sports games, if Luigi wins and Mario, oh, good job, Luigi. Yeah. He's stepping on his brother's foot, like, oh yeah, you mother. I'm supposed to be no. It's ridiculous, and I'm like, you see that? You see that? That's that crap that I don't like. And that's why he is the way he is. It's like, to me, if I'm Mario, a little bit, I'll be honest with you. I'm Mario. I would get PO'd at Peach. Every freaking, I'm like, I would, every time I rescue them, bring her back to the, I'm like, woman, you better step up your security. You better, I'm going to teach you how to defend yourself. I can't stand Peach. Peach is the ultimate uber damsel in distress, and I'm not about that. I'm not about that no more. I hate that. When I was younger, I used to be okay, but now that damsel in distress nonsense don't work with me no more. By the time I was 15, I was like, I'm done with that. You better change that. Like, I like a strong female character. If they get caught by accident because they got attacked, that's fine. But if you're constantly getting kidnapped by the same mother hubber every freaking time, it's almost like, oh, new Mario game. Oh, what's going on in a minute? Well, Mario has to save Peach again. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? I'm like, give me a freaking break. Are you serious again? Like, and then it's almost to the point also with Bowser. I'm like, what do you want from this woman? You want to stick your in her? What do you want? You want a licky licky from her? You want this? What the hell do you want from her, Bowser? But you love carrying her. You love grabbing her. I'm like, dude, if you want to be with her, just remember that's called bestiality. You ain't even the same species. So either you, I'm like, give me a goddamn break. That's why there was a skit that I love with Mario. It is so funny. I think it started with basically Bowser kidnapping and he's like, oh, Mario, no, hold on a minute. And he just starts razzing on Peach. How many times has it been? You stupid bitch. And he's like, I gotta save you another goddamn time. And he just goes on a rant with this, like, and he's like, and you, and then he turns to you, and he's like, he turns to Bowser, he's like, and you, what the? He's like, what is? He starts just, I think it's called Angry Mario, and it is so funny, so creative. I'm like, oh my god, this is the funniest thing I ever seen in my life because that's how I would be if I'm Mario. It is a different. Now somebody said, oh, but Link is that way. No, big difference. You see, Zelda can take care of herself. She know how to fight. But Link, when Hyrule is in danger, my man is like a soldier. He goes to arms and he's ready to defend his home. Mario, there are times that they shown Mario is just gets fed up and he's like, oh, like again, he's just trying to relax sometime and it's just like that. But then once again, and then okay, and then we throw to Luigi. What's Luigi done? It's been always about mansions and him being a Ghostbuster. And even still, like, it bothers me with Luigi because it's like, dude, you dealt with ghosts for. Why are you still scared? Like, if you should be, I'm like, why are you scared? Like, you dealt with this already. You should be now like, bring it on. I'm ready. But and there was a skit about Luigi going to Mario and was like, yo, like, you brought me in. I came in 19 such blah blah blah, and I ain't really done nothing. Okay, I had this and I had this, but them checks ain't cutting it. No, like it was funny the way, and he's like, look at you, you got this, you got that, blah blah blah, and then he's like, look, you know why? And I talked to Yoshi, and that don't like you. You always messing up his back. I told you goddamn too many times to lose some weight. And he pulls up it's like, look at me. I'm cut up and everything. And then, what about moms? And he brings it was so funny. It was creative. It's so funny. But I don't, their Mario's I love. Like old school Mario, like Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3. Those are my games. I love those games. Even the old school cartoons that Captain Lou Albano was in, and love that series. I don't hate to a degree, like, but I do hate the aspect that they just. I understand he's the mascot, but to me, it's like there are other characters that can get that kind of push that need it more than him. Link don't need it. You know why? Here's the thing. Link can put one game out and it still get talked about for 3 years because it's that damn good. Mario needs to put out several games just to even feel like he's still in that. And that's just my opinion, but that's how I feel. But I do say Link is the true face of Nintendo. Anyway, guys, like I said, um, once again, this I'm about to end it soon, but I'm having a lot of fun with you guys. Please, if you can donate to the fundraiser that I'm doing this for, Make a Wish. I don't. It doesn't matter what it is. $1, $5, don't matter. Um, it's a worthy cause, and I appreciate it if you can. So let's answer some more questions before I wrap this up, because as of right now, on the West Coast, it is almost 12. It is 12. So I'm about to wrap this up. All right. Every time every time I would rescue Peach, I was just like, just slap her every time. Right, man. It's like it is like that. It's funny. It's funny. It's like, it is like that. I feel you because like I'm fond of Princess Peach either. Like the princess is like I think I like Daisy better than Peach. Everybody says that. I Daisy don't take no crap. She don't. I'll admit that. Indeed. Um, why are we talking? Why are we talking about Mario left? As somebody brought it up. Those three games are my childhood. I love those games. No worries. What's your favorite anime? This is from Isaac. Favorite anime. Uh, I love a lot of anime, so it's hard to say, but I will definitely throw Rurouni Kenshin up in there. Uh, I I love Rurouni Kenshin. I love uh, I'm a big fan of Black Lagoon. Um, I love that. Of course, you got to throw the Dragon Ball franchise up in there. I love Sailor Boom too. Vampire Hunter D. Berserk. Rest in peace to its creator. He passed away too. A lot of samurai anime I do love. Um, there's I have so many animes I love. It's there's so many. That's why I just say, it's so many. Even like Mecha, like Gundams. I love Gundam. Like Mega Man or Mega Man X. I'm always gonna go original Blue Bomber. Always. Uh, how come Princess Daisy can't get her own game? I don't know. Um, and also because it's called Open Mic Night for a reason. Oh, right, yeah, that is right. Uh, I remember from your old reactions videos. You had a Dragon Ball poster in the background. Yeah, it was my wall scroll. I still have it. I just don't put it up. It's folded up. I'm looking at it folded up. It's in the corner over here. I still have it. It's just not there. Uh, it had every character from the Dragon Ball franchise, from Dragon Ball, the movies, the Z, and GT, which I'm not a big fan of. It didn't have anybody from Super. Uh, See it, Chris. Thank you once again. Okay, well, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up, and I want to thank everybody for coming through once again. Like I said, this was also a part. This is also part of a fundraiser for Make a Wish. So please, if you can, I would appreciate if you donate to the Make a Wish Foundation. It's a worthy cause. Uh, it really is. Make a Wish. I have a lot of respect for Make a Wish, and I am gonna tend to do that more often, guys. Whenever I do open mics and live Q&As, I will attach it to a fundraiser because they work. Um, anyway, guys, like I said, there are a lot of things coming soon for me. Like I said, I recently just started a new segment called that always will air on Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time, called Shotgun Saturday Fright, which was inspired by me by a YouTuber that I love called Corey Kenshin. He used to do it, and I thought it was fun, and it inspired me to do it because I can get scared easily. I don't get scared but certain things do creep me out. I'm not with that urban exploring nonsense. So whenever you see me reacting to urban exploring, like, I get really into that. I'm like, why are you doing this at night? Or why are you doing this by yourself? And when they see like I remember the one where a dude was doing it, and I reacted to it too. The dude was he was um he was being followed. There was a guy in he saw this guy in this area where he was exploring, and then the guy was chasing him everywhere, and this guy was creepy, and he was by himself, and it was kind of creepy because I'm like, this dude, like, why are you hearing him? Like, he's chasing this guy, and he is like, and I remember really reacting get, forget your bag, get out of there, like. So I recently put up a new one where this dude is talking about there's a demonic spirit, or in his case it was a jinn, and there's also supposed to be a little kid that they see, and there's a point where you actually see this little kid down the hall, and you actually hear me saying, "Don't follow this," and he's thing getting rocks thrown at. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. But anyway, yeah, it's called Shotgun Saturday Fright. I just put up the first episode. It was fun. I'm gonna do it next week, but it'll always be 1 to 2 videos. Scary. Has to be something scary. People can request things. If you see scary videos and you're like, oh, this would be interesting, I'll send me the link. I may do it. I'll usually get in touch with the content user and tell them, is it okay if I react to your vids or something like that, But yeah, it's fun. It's inspired by Corey, so I definitely gotta give shouts out to Corey Kenshin for that. But yeah, there's still stuff coming. What's the next opinion spot coming up? It's about, I think it's about Lucas Till. There's some characters, Lucas Till, who played Havoc, who his series MacGyver just ended. Ran for 5 seasons. I'm happy for him. And there's still some characters in comics that I can see Lucas Till playing. So that will be coming up soon. I think it's going to come up this week. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Will there be a open mic Q&A next month? No, there won't be. I usually take a break I'm gonna take a break from the Q&As. Usually I one the next month. So, but outside of that, you guys take care. And yeah, man. See you guys next time. Deuces.